Hello, 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 everybody. I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear if you can, because if you can, then that means we should be live. We should be good and set to begin with our session of the week. Greetings, everybody. My name is KG Prestige, and I welcome you all back again to another exciting session of the PokePod World Podcast, where me and my pals gather around to go have some fun, chat about things of the week with news in regards to gaming. We have a lot of gaming topics to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's a buttload of them, and it doesn't help at the fact that there's still more to come in the coming days, man. It is nuts. Yes, it is sponsored by ramen today. Yes, we are sponsored by the delicious food ramen. Seriously, if you have never had ramen in your life, you're definitely missing out. I guarantee you will enjoy ramen. From somebody who has had ramen multiple times, you're going to love it for sure. Well, I hope you will anyway. That's all I'm just saying. But yeah, we got a fun session for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We have to talk about Smash. We have to talk about Crash. We have to talk about the recent episode of PM 2019. We have to talk about Pokemon Snap and whatever project it is that they have for the future of the Pokemon franchise. There is so much to discuss, so we have to get right into it, get into the news, and let's see what kind of topics we will be discussing for tonight. So, hope you guys are excited. If you are, make sure to spread the word. If you haven't yet, share it via social media, Twitter, Facebook, whatever platform you use to go and spread the word. Let everybody know that we are live, set, and good to go. So how's everybody in the chat doing? I see a lot of familiar faces as always, and as well as some new faces that I've also haven't seen before. But that also might be because I just never realized. Oh, man. I hope everybody's going well. Congratulations, by the way, to Comet there. For graduation. I know my little brother's about to finish his in just 2 days from now, so I'm very happy to see he's also graduating as well. So that's good to hear that everybody's having a good end of the summer. I will say, though, this day was brutally hot for me. I don't know. I just felt that way. Anyway, let me go and hop into the call with my buddy here, and we shall begin from there. Alrighty, let's see if this actually works, because Discord updated recently. Do you hear me well?
I have RTX voice enabled, which is not good.
I don't have it enabled. I have it disabled now.
Check your.
Is it really enabled? I made sure that shit was disabled.
I heard the artifacting.
I think that's just wait. No shit. I can't change it from here. Can I? No. It's
no,
not in
no. It's probably in the Discord setting. It's not in the stream.
No. It's not. And it says here is just the standard microphone Yeti. It has the separate one that says microphone NVIDIA RTX voice. But right. That one's turned off.
Okay, and that's and for that, then you'll check the Discord setting too.
Yeah,
right?
And it's not that. It's just a regular microphone Yeti.
Okay, fair enough.
So I also have, for some reason,
Hello.
I was gonna, hey there, Evie. I was gonna say I did notice that echo cancellation and noise reduction are on, which I feel that's not a good thing for one of those to be on. Also, thank you, by the way, to who it was. Where was that? Ty, thank you so much for the subscription. Absolutely appreciate it, man. Subscribe for 12 months with Prime, man. That is amazing. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support you guys given us throughout the years, man. We appreciate all of you, every single individuals that are here in the call and in the chat. All right, so
Ramen.
Oh, yes, we have to talk about the ramen girl. Everybody's so excited about that. And, of course...
But that wasn't... Yeah, but to be honest, that wasn't the biggest Smash news today.
Oh, no, I know. Vegeta from Dragon Ball was talked about it.
No, actually, no. No, there is a group of people. There's a new dolphin build by Slippy that has integrated... rollback netcode, integrated matchmaking, auto updates, and replays
I've
for Melee.
Seen that. I am amazed with how far people have gone with technology, with emulation to be exact, and even incorporating online play with this game. This is insane.
Yeah,
From the footage I've seen, is nuts.
Yeah, the sad part is people have said that the rollback netcode for Melee is better than Smash Ultimate on LAN connection, which is the local network connection.
Well, you're not saying too much there.
Listen, man, they love to gloat Melee.
0 millisecond lag.
Listen, they love to gloat on Melee. If there's any way they want to praise Melee, they're gonna make sure they do it and then some. So
honestly, the Melee people deserve this one. This is really really good actually.
Yeah, well, the Melee fans really work their asses off to pull this stunt off, and I don't even the fact that this is even a thing is absolutely bonkers, and I'm excited to see where this whole development for Melee's netcoding is going to go from here on out, and how far this could potentially reach for other games of other franchises as well.
Well, yeah, I would love to see some of the online GameCube games that didn't rely on like GameSpy or whatever.
Yeah.
To come back, or you'll have it online to the point where we can actually play racing games or something.
So, with that being said, though, come on, give us Mario Kart Double Dash Online. I'm just saying.
Double Dash Online.
The moment that's there, ladies and gentlemen, it is done. We're going to be playing that throughout the rest of the year, for sure. But yeah, so John, I know you are more on the Smash scene than me anyway when it comes to this sort of stuff. And I know you, well, given from your discussion just now, you seem to know a little bit about this. What do you think about it overall?
Well, I think it's awesome. I mean, rollback netcode is definitely preferred in the fighting game community, and the fact that Ultimate doesn't have it is a huge turnoff for a lot of people. A big problem with Smash Ultimate is that Smash Ultimate, out of all the Smash games, it has the highest natural input lag. Like, even playing offline, it's mostly just because like it's on the Switch and they're trying to like optimize a lot of stuff. And so you have already like, I think it's like 6 frames of input lag. So the game is a bit less responsive than all of the other Smash titles. And then online with like flawless connection, they add like another 5 frames of input lag. Just for like no reason. Just so they're like, oh, we want you to have like a smoother connection, which most of the time it isn't. So as a result, even with like the best connection available, you're playing with 11 frames of input lag online, which for fighting game people, that's really really bad.
And on top of that, you have the input latency if you're using a wire like a Bluetooth controller.
Yes.
And your display has lag as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't have like a lot of a lot of modern TVs like for example my Samsung Q60 QLED, on game mode the latency is 17 milliseconds. An NTSC frame is 16 milliseconds. So we're talking about if I were to play Smash Ultimate online, the minimum amount of lag I would get is 12 frames.
Yeah, 12 to 13 frames is about as low as you can possibly get.
Yeah, 12 to 13 frames of lag. That's, okay. So we do the math here. That's about like 200 milliseconds. That's about a quarter of a second lag. That's bad.
That's a big reason why a lot of characters are complained about more online versus offline. Offline, for example, Zelda is considered a low-tier character in Smash. But online, a lot of people complain about Zelda because she has a lot of stuff that just like becomes true combos online that you would normally be able to get out of offline. Because in Smash, unlike other fighting games, you have this thing called directional influence, or DI for short.
Yeah.
And so say Zelda does like an up B, like out of shield. Like say you attack her shield and then she drops her shield and then she does an up B. Offline, you would be able to DI out of the second hit, which would kill you off the top. But online, it's just true. So you get hit by that and you just die like in a really early percent. Same thing with a lot of her throw combos as well. So there are characters like Zelda and Samus and Sonic who are incredibly annoying in Smash Online. This is why a lot of people don't like Smash Ultimates Online, because like you can't really play a reaction-based game. So yeah, that's just a few of the factors behind why people don't like Ultimate.
And it sucks because like aren't they in Evo, but like Evo's on digital this time?
So Evo actually took Smash Ultimate out, despite it being like their biggest game.
I think they didn't want to risk it though. I think they.
Oh, it's not about risking it. Is that they know?
I mean, think about it this way. So John mentioned a perfect connection means combined with the input the display lag of your TV is like 12 to 13 frames. Now take that and put it on a shitty connection. You're probably talking 20 frames of lag.
And
then
20 frames is a big difference.
That's a third of a second.
And then for Evo, it's not just like people competing in like a few states. It is people from around the world. And it is definitely like a location based thing for Smash Ultimates Online. Like I played one of my friends who was in Japan last summer, and it was infinitely worse than what it normally is. I mean, he didn't even have like bad internet or anything over there. It was just like he's so much further away, and that's just how Nintendo's Online works.
Well, it's not only that; it's also because you have it's latency.
Yeah.
Like for example, if you are on the East Coast, the minimum amount of time that a packet takes to get to Japan is about 200 milliseconds, maybe 190. So you got to take that into account. Then you have to also take into account that if it's in the middle of the night here, which is in the middle of the day there, the fiber lines are pretty much from the U.S. to Japan are pretty much like Asia, pretty much gone.
Oh yeah,
like the bandwidth is just shit. International bandwidth is just shit. So you take that, and that is a disaster. So if you don't have rollback netcode or any sort of buffering to compensate for this, you're fucked.
Yeah, and then on top of that, that doesn't even end there. That's just like a few of the things, right? But on top of that, Smash Ultimate has this thing called input buffering, and it's something that they've kind of done over the past few Smash games to make it less technically demanding. Like in Melee, you don't have input buffering. You have to be like frame perfect with everything. And then in Brawl, they introduced a little bit of input buffering, and then they increased it a bit in Smash 4, and they increased it again in Ultimate, and to where it's like I think it's like 10 frames in Ultimate of input buffering. So basically, like you trying to like mash a move out of like hit stun or shield or something like that, or say you're trying to like throw combo someone, it'll just kind of give you that leniency. But the issue is you have a lot of that like kind of overrunning each other, especially online, and so you combine like 10 frames of input buffer with a minimum 12 frames of input lag playing online. You just get this horrible, clunky experience where it feels like you're not even playing the game. It feels like you're playing underwater, to be honest, because like everything.
It probably feels like you're playing freaking Mortal Kombat for the Game Boy.
Yeah, it is not a great experience to say the least. But the fact that Melee already had better connection online through the emulators than Smash Ultimate does. I've been playing a little bit of Project Plus actually through my emulator, and that is actually pretty smooth even before this update came out. And it's just been made even better now. Now I know like all my friends who are Ultimate players who are like, you know what, I'm gonna play Melee now because I'm just done playing Smash Ultimate online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I could definitely see, but I think the biggest, I like the fact that they're finally shedding light to Melee again. I mean, I'm not a huge Smash fan myself, but I know that Melee is well respected. But seeing the influx, I think I saw a comment on Twitter that said, "Okay, you're gonna have all these people come back to Melee, and then they're gonna get off of it again, realizing that people are broken."
Yeah, that's the thing with Melee. You can't expect the same amount of balance from Melee that are in the newer games. Yeah. You have maybe
not even. I mean, hell, if you want the best of both worlds, really, you should probably download an old version of Project M or something.
Yeah, but one of the greatest things about Melee is that even though if you have just 8 viable characters instead of 80 viable characters, there's so much depth and tech skill to Melee that you can kind of express yourself differently. Like you can tell a stark difference between, say, Mango's Fox and Mewtwo King's Fox. Like there are a lot of different things that they do.
You're supposed to use Hungry Box. You're supposed to have Hungry Box Jigglypuff. What are you doing?
I mean, he's like the only Jigglypuff player, so I wanted to use that as an example, but I couldn't. I was like, there's no other Jigglypuff
player.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of differences, even if you're playing the same character, because there's so much differently that you can do in Melee compared to Ultimate. Ultimate's very much more streamlined. There's a lot of like just, hey, do this down throw and you get a combo. And, you know, as a result, it's like, you know, a lot of people just kind of play the same way. In Melee, not a lot of people play the same way. A lot of people has like their own little unique spin on it because there's so much you can do.
Mm.
Yeah. So my question is this, and you guys probably already covered. So the girl Min.
Yes.
For the Smash
I'll play it.
representative,
I don't.
yes.
Yeah, I said I don't play. I don't play ARMS, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, that would be our first ARMS representative.
Is she? Wait, what about Toothpaste Head?
Oh, you mean what was his name? Springman?
Yeah, I thought he was
Okay,
like
so this is something.
thing.
This is something that they actually clarified in the Smash Direct that they had today. They basically stated two things. One, they said that every character in ARMS are considered their own main protagonist. And the second thing, which is the more no, this is the more hilarious part, Tyrone. The second reason as to why this is the case is because the producer, Mr. Yabuki, specifically stated that he wanted to see Min Min in Smash. And Sakurai himself actually mentioned that, yeah, if I had to choose by myself, I would have either gone with the Ninja Dude, Ninjara, or gone with Min Min. So, because Mr. Yabuki also wanted to see Min Min in the game as well, I guess since both big heavyweight producers here wanted to see that, they decided to go with the girl instead, which personally to me is amazing that they went with her. I'm so happy that they actually went with my girl Min Min. I know I'm a little bummed out too that we didn't get to see Twintel also join in on the fray, except being a part of Min Min's final Smash, of course. But Min Min as a character, if you've played the game, you will really grow to appreciate her character and her little, like, if you go into reading her story, like what she is, what she does, and how she became who she is, you begin to appreciate a lot on Min Min's character. And also, I mean, she cooks ramen. She has her own she works in the Nintendo ramen shop. And I love
that. To me,
that.
that's like saying we put Psyduck in Smash because every Pokemon is their own main
Tyrone,
character.
that's Jigglypuff. What are you talking about?
I feel like
Jigglypuff was a secondary mascot.
No, it wasn't. It was Clefairy.
ARMS isn't
And
really
Charizard.
ARMS isn't really like the big, huge franchise that a lot of these other ones are yet. I don't think they're developed.
No,
enough
ARMS is huge. It just never caught on. Is the thing.
Like, it sold a lot of copies. It sold well over 1 million copies, I believe. But it was just like, it's not big enough to where I could say, or I guess not developed enough. Like, they've only had one game.
Yeah, they literally just had one franchise, and I hope that, given how Smash is
the
treated.
Pokemon mascot in Red and Blue. Like, it actually was the next game that came out that it became the mascot. So,
well, technically the fourth game that came out because it's technically the fourth game.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was red and green, and then a year later in the mail order, then there was blue, and then blue got released to retail, and then yellow came out in late '98.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was gonna be Min Min though, because she was kind of like the first. I don't know if she was the first big reveal actually, but I remember there was like a Nintendo Direct where before ARMS had come out, where Min Min felt like she was the first big reveal for ARMS.
No, it was mainly Ribbon Girl and Springman. Now, the thing is, because I do follow a little bit on the ARMS story side of things, ARMS actually had a tournament not too long ago that pitted each character against each other. It's kind of like a popularity contest to see who would reign supreme. And ultimately, in the end of that, it turned out Min Min was the winner of the tournament, and she ended up being the champion of the whole Crash Bash, whatever the thing was called, ARMS Bash tournament that they had. So that included with Mr. Yabuki wanting Min Min, and even Sakurai himself also wanting to see Min Min in the game too. It was just more like everything seems to be stacking together properly. It seems like the fans really do prefer to see Min Min in the game. And I have to say as well, I think a lot of people are really taking this as a really nice way, because I mean, if I'm correct, she's also the first, given her culture, I want to say I don't really recall, I think she is Asian, I want to say.
Well, she's got
well, I mean, in Japanese, it's called Mian Mian, which is like...
Yeah, she's definitely got Japanese descent.
Because Mian, like lo mian,
yeah,
like noodle.
Yeah, that's what they were going for the pun. So
sounds like a rapper.
You have that, and you also have her being the first solo female DLC fighter as well. Yeah, so that is pretty huge there for a lot of people.
Poor Toothpaste Head.
Yeah, listen, man. Toothpaste Head is already an assist trophy. We don't need to kick him out of there.
I was like, yeah, he shows up a lot, so I thought he'd be a sure win for the thing.
No, I'm so grateful it wasn't him, because he's so generic.
Well, one thing, this definitely confirms that you don't have to be. If you are a spirit, you can still come in as a character because she was a spirit already in the base game.
Oh, really?
So she's like the first spirit character to become a fighter. So if you're a spirit, you're actually okay. And if you're a me costume, you're okay. But
that makes me
If you're an assist trophy on
if you're
your
an
hand,
assist trophy, I think it's a little different because you're
Okay.
technically like you're already in the game, really. Like you're not just kind of like there in the background. Like you're actually in the game.
imagine if
Yeah.
Waluigi is a playable character and he uses an assist trophy to summon Waluigi. You know what I mean? That doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, granted, Crom is like still in like Lucina's final smash, even if Crom is on the screen, which is weird. But that's
Well,
even if it was Crom getting hit.
I want to also talk about the best part of the direct, and that is not part of the trailer or part of the gameplay.
I know. Are you talking
that's
about
Sakurai's house, Sakurai's apartment?
Sakurai
Did you
is
see that somebody
stacked,
looked up
man,
what
with
his
the shit.
someone looked up what his couch was. Like they found his couch online. It was like,
Oh shit! I need the link to that. I want to
couch.
buy me one.
well, not only that, it's just like he has two TVs, and under the TVs you see. Well, first of all, he's got the fucking IKEA shit.
Well, yeah. I mean,
funny, right?
everybody has to go with IKEA, even
but
if
it's
you're
like,
rich.
yeah. But the funny thing is, he has an Xbox One X. He has a fucking PS4, a PS4 Pro, a launch model PS3, a PS3 Super Slim, a Mega Drive Mini with all the fucking accessories, the PC Engine Mini, and the Super Nintendo Mini,
Yeah, and
like,
all the way in
wasn't
the
just
front, and like the
Nintendo,
left,
and
it's
the
all the
Famicom
Switch.
Mini.
It's almost like he's a gamer.
Yeah,
he plays
Sakurai-
everything.
Listen, he even states in like a lot of his Famitsu's articles that he does play games. It's just that he never wants to say what he plays because the Smash community can end up taking that as a way of saying, oh, that means that this character is going to be the next character in Smash. And that's mainly not even the Japanese fault. No, that's us from the outside of Japan. That's kind of
For sure.
the shits in this situation. So, unfortunately, we kind of ruined Sakurai from
game
that.
collection. He touches one of the fishing games. Oh, he touched one of the fishing games. That means the fish is gonna.
Yeah,
be
the fish is in Smash.
Well, that's why a lot of people were like confused by the Rex costume because one of the few times that he did come out about like one of the games that he played, he said like that Xenoblade 2 was one of his favorite Switch games that he played, and so people were like, "Oh, he's a shoe-in," but he wasn't a shoe-in.
Well,
so.
to be fair, Sakurai did clarify that this was already very far into development, so they didn't have much of an idea as to Rex's character to have him included into Smash Ultimate. So
And they
the only thing I can
said
hope
the
is that
same
he's
thing
added
about-
later.
They actually said the same thing about the ARMS characters. They
PS1.
kind of lumped the ARMS
PS1
and
too.
Rex together, where they said that it was too late for both Rex and an ARMS character. So I think Rex is a pretty good shot of getting in on this pass, actually.
Yeah, if this entire pass is gonna be Nintendo mascot characters, then so be it. But choose the ones that definitely deserve it. You know.
Actually, it's funny. I give you the screenshot. What's funny is he has both the Super Famicom Mini and the Super NES Mini.
Yeah, he has everything, man. This man, and also the Joker amiibo and Hero amiibo as well. Now, thanks to Nintendo for sending it to them. So he has those as well in his building now. Sakurai, I really have to say, I really appreciate the guy. He goes out of his way to clarify on the situations at hand. Try to let everybody know that despite everything that's happening right now, we're still going to continue to produce the same quality that we always do with Smash for the future of the DLC content by still making amazing trailers like what you're seeing here with the Min Min reveal trailer, and even also getting them released, So I'm loving all of that.
Shout out to Nintendo too for even sending Sakurai the recording materials to even make this possible.
Yeah, they sent him freaking the audio equipment, video equipment.
The
just
lighting and everything.
Mail. Yeah, we're just sending the mail.
Yeah, also
they probably use like Yamato or something like that.
One thing to note as well. Another cool thing that I liked, this wasn't in the trailer or in the direct in itself, but Sakurai has stated via his Famitsu article, he has stated that he and Nintendo, well, not specifically Nintendo, but Sora Limited, actually pay the employees in terms of products that they would need to continue to work on Smash Ultimate at their home. So whether it be a table, chairs, equipment, and stuff like that to continue to produce Smash Ultimate, the DLC fighters, he's giving them the content they need.
I need a giant to burrow up, dog. Why do you need? I need it for Smash.
Okay, sir. He needs it for Smash, guys.
Another bit of a random
I got a
fact
package for you. Caressing into the fire on the flame.
Go on, John.
Another random fact from today's thing. I don't know how much credibility there is to it. I just saw a tweet where someone said that apparently Sakurai made like a social distancing joke with
he did.
Min Min,
he actually did.
but they didn't put it in the subs, which is a little unfortunate.
Yeah, because he says it like social like he says it in English in the way that he can. But he says
social distance is a long word. So.
No. I know, but like I like to where you can understand it, even if it's not subbed, is what I'm referring to. Like
but if you look at like Tokyo Governor Koike, she says social distance.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what Sakurai said. I'm saying like you don't even need the subtitles to know what he's saying. You could clearly tell that he's saying social distancing, but for some reason the people at Nintendo didn't want to include that in the subs, and they said something about like, oh, these guys are far away from me or something, and I'm like, that's so odd that they didn't decide to do that. It feels weird. And also, this is another thing that's also weird too. I don't know what's with Nintendo not slapping in the main logos of the mascots that are gonna be Mii fighters, because they had Volt Boy as like Smash Brothers X Volt Boy, but in Europe it's Smash Brothers X Fallout.
YouTube shit, yeah.
Yeah, so what was with that? Why didn't Nintendo been doing that? I know they did that with Assassin's Creed, with Altair, because in Europe it was also Smash Brothers X Assassin's Creed, and then here with Fallout it's like Smash Brothers X Vault Boy instead of Smash Brothers X Fallout. Like I'm not understanding these changes that they're trying to make.
U.S.
for the
copyrights versus Europe.
Yeah, they're very picky with their shit, man. It's weird now. But yeah, it's these little small things. But I guess it's safe to say now, with everything that's happening, is Goku coming into Smash now thanks to Sakurai mentioning?
I mean, nothing's off the table. Sakurai's a crazy man.
Listen, man, he has Goku's VA already in Smash. He has Vegeta's VA in Smash. He mentioned Akira Toriyama and has an Akira Toriyama design for them to be exact in Smash.
Chris Sabat voice.
No, not Chris Sabat. The Japanese voice actor.
Japanese.
He does the Japanese voice for Vegeta is Captain Falcon, and they actually got him to come back to do some lines for Captain Falcon in this trailer. This is the first time that they did this since Smash 64.
Mm-hmm.
They've been reusing his lines since Smash 64, and also
with the exception of the final Smash.
No. That's the biggest twist, because originally that line was in Smash 64. They never used it because originally Final Smashes were to have been incorporated into Smash 64, but because it couldn't due to, I guess, hardware limitations, they decided to not do it.
Could you imagine a world where Smash 64 had fucking Final Smashes?
Yeah, so that line that Captain Falcon says, something about like, come on, Blue Falcon, that was actually a line recorded for Smash 64. And they reused it for Brawl. So that's actually really cool. So it's like a nice little nostalgic history tip.
Oh, the lore.
Yeah, so I'm just happy with ARMS representative, man. I feel ARMS was a game that definitely deserved to get some recognition. And I think with the popularity of Smash Bros., in general, and how much it has done for franchises like Fire Emblem, Xenoblade Chronicles, to name a few, I feel like ARMS, from what we're going to be getting with Smash here, could be the key to give ARMS that revival that it rightfully deserves. And hopefully, with whatever is coming next for the ARMS franchise, people will become more intrigued into trying it out after trying out Min Min in Smash Ultimate. So, fingers crossed for that. And keep those Zeno 2 reps out. What? No, hell no, Donnie. Rex deserves it.
Rex deserves it. What is Rex
be there?
He's like the biggest Nintendo guy who isn't in the game, basically.
They even made like a Xenoblade 10th anniversary poster too, if you remember. With
Yeah.
So hold on a second, though. I will be right back, guys. If you guys would like to continue to chat away, I'll be
John
back.
wanted to make a point. John wanted to make a point. So you
Yeah,
can go ahead and do it.
they did the weird decision. They cut out the social distancing thing, but they kept in the part where he was like, "Don't look up Springman manga on Google Images,"
What the fuck?
which you can definitely do and see what he was talking about. It's weird. It's weird, and I can't believe they're gonna take out Sonic for the same reason.
Yeah, but other than that though, Min Man, what do you guys think of her as a fighter? Like, do you think like she might be like a pretty useful fighter? Is she pretty balanced? Is she broken?
Well, she's definitely different because A and B is her left and or right and left arms, as opposed. And then if you
Those are like casual. Those are casual of fighting control inputs, aren't they?
yeah, and
or like-
also if people press A and B at the same time, it'll do a right left combo.
I like that.
So and also the directional the tilts change the direction of where the arms go.
Yeah, just of course keeping up with the arms gameplay.
Yeah,
At first, I was kind of nervous because that means there'll be distance as like a motherfucker. But I realized after that, it's from what I'm seeing, it's a one shot, and then they got to reel the arm back anyway. So the time spent reeling the arm back,
right. And also
is the time spent, with them wide open.
yeah, and also depending on the light and hard attacks, so the light and soft, the soft and hard attacks, there's a distance. It's a change of distance between the arm length.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, it
I
helps
think
kids
she
practice
looks
this thing.
It looks good. I mean, but again,
Yeah,
I haven't played
that's pretty good.
Smash since about 2 weeks since it came out, which tells you how much I give a fuck. But for the people that actually do, congrats, because I made the big mistake of buying both versions of Smash 4, buying all the DLC, and I played it a little bit, like barely any. So it kind of got burned there. I only got Smash just because it got Smash, and if I feel like playing it, I will play it. If not, then I don't. And more often than not, and I don't.
Yeah, I mean, Smash Bros. Is only really good when you play locally, not online, which kind of ruins the replay value of the game. So I don't really blame me for that. I haven't touched Smash myself in months.
I need to pick up Smash again.
The problem is there's like so many games. I mean, now Nintendo has a problem. I mean, you can't really call it a problem, but it's like now they have so many games that you have to complete them, and you have to find it. And of course, there's not enough hours in a day. Well,
I know, like with Smash, it's not really the matter of completing. It's because it's a fighting game. Smash's issue, I think, comes in with: are you willing to practice enough to make sure that you're viable enough to fight off against others without completely?
That's true for any fighting game, like freaking SF5 or something.
So it's not even a matter of, at that point, to me, it's not even a matter of am I complete? Because I've beat the game. It's just, I think the problem with me is I would have to find the time to practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also have to face people that they have like tons and tons of free time and you don't.
Yeah, they've been practicing since the game was out.
Well, and also they have less commitments. They have less responsibilities for the most part of them,
Yeah, so that Japanese...
It's fun if you have like a community.
That Japanese kid that's been playing since the game came out, he's going to kick your ass.
Mm-hmm. Like if you have a good like local community around you, which most people I assume do, you can find Smash locals just about everywhere. But definitely in the middle of a pandemic where you can't go anywhere and you have to play this game and it's awful online. That's where it falters a little bit, and there's not much reason to play right now. Even with this character coming out, I don't see myself playing a lot in the coming months.
That's also been another thing, is like Smash hasn't released any characters that I personally am like, yeah, hell yeah, that made it into the game. Mm-hmm. Like I'm no disrespect to ARMS, I wasn't into the ARM craze. Like, I know it's a good game. I know it's
The character that I was most attached to that came out as DLC was Byleth, and that says something a lot because I really wasn't attached to Byleth either.
That's the one everybody almost destroyed the internet over.
That was the one where I was like,
well, they aren't cultured enough.
Like the other four, I was just like, whatever. But like Byleth, I was like, oh, at least I know who this is.
I was so indifferent to Byleth. I was just like, whatever. Like I didn't hate that Byleth was in the game, but I also didn't like care as much as, like I said, they haven't released a DLC character since Joker. That's made me go, oh hell yeah, he's in there.
Joker was cool. Joker was cool, definitely.
Yeah, he or she is in the game. Like fuck yeah. Like they haven't released the character like that yet. And I really want to get into ARMS. I feel like it's a good game. It's just
it is fun, but it's only fun, just like with Pokken, it's only fun with friends.
Yeah, that's what when it came out, I don't know. I didn't see the appeal at first, and then I started looking into it more, and it seemed more interesting, but it didn't seem buy-worthy to me. I was like...
Speaking of which, do y'all see a Pokken 2 happening this coming week? I think that's like a viable possibility, actually.
Well, I guess if we're going to talk about Pokemon...
We can transition to that.
Yeah, so let me go and switch up the little media stuff here real quick, because there is something else I feel is also noteworthy to talk about regarding everything that's happening right now. So, before we get into what's going to come next week, let's talk about what we got last week. Because last week was Megaton announcement, as in only really one thing, being of none other than Pokemon Smile. That's right, that toothpaste game that everybody's been talking about is out. If I'm correct,
Game of the year.
Game of the year, indeed, my friend.
We got sleep delayed because of this.
But yes, Pokemon.
It was worth it.
But in reality, though, Pokemon Snap, a game almost 2 decades. Is it 2 decades? Almost.
Yes, it is. Well,
yeah.
it is. Well, in Japan, it's been 20 years.
Feeling old yet?
Yeah, so
well, 21 years. 21 years.
So a game over 2 decades now since its initial release back on the Nintendo 64 has finally resurfaced with a brand new sequel titled, and this is true, New Pokemon Snap. Okay, what is with Nintendo with the word new?
I hate that. Because
I hope it's just a working title.
Because new in Japan is a thing. So
yeah, but that's dumb. Because what happens when this game becomes 20 years old?
Then we'll go with the new
dude,
Pokemon.
You have new Pokemon Snap.
New.
That's why I hate the new Pokemon Snap. That's why I hate the Mario New Soup games.
They're still new.
No, they're not.
According to the game title, it is.
Oh my god.
I don't care if it's 20-year-old. That shit's still new.
I hate when they do that. Just give it a different name or something. Call it Pokemon Resnap or something.
Yeah, the actually sounds pretty nice, though. But Resnap sounds like it's a remix of the first game, which in reality this one isn't, because this is 7 generations inclusions of, like, from Generation 1 to Generation 8. And it is insane, the amount of choices that they've made. Also, graphically speaking, holy shit, this game looks pretty as hell.
It actually makes me a little disappointed.
I literally saw like a notable YouTuber who was like, is this a remaster of the first one? And I'm like, bruh, there's like 7 more generations of Pokemon here. Come on. It's not just a remaster.
It's a remastered Pidgey. It's a remastered... You see those Tauros right there? That's Tauros's remastered look.
I kind of want them to do some of the references to the first one, though. Like, I want, like, the one where Meowth... I think Meowth, like, ends up getting... Like, if Meowth will run up somewhere, it messes with these Pidgeys, and the Pidgeys use, like, Gust or something, and it flies in the air and gets all dizzy. Like, I kind of wish they would do some old, like, throwback.
I want to throw a Pokeball at a Charmeleon and shove it into the volcano.
Yeah, like if you know the actions to do, then you can unlock the old scenes from the 64 game or something.
That was one of the reasons why. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to play the game yesterday.
For this right here, just to see the similarities and differences, I guess.
Well, not only that, it's just that I haven't legitimately sat down and played in like 18 years.
Yeah, I haven't touched this game since the N64 days, really, because there was no real reason for me to really try it out any further, because I feel like I did everything the moment I got to Mew.
Although I still love that somebody pointed the camera at Pikachu But so you can see the aim reticle, and then you see fucking Intelliad at the top.
Oh,
I forgot. Take the shot. Oh my god, that's amazing.
It's such a good game.
And yeah, it actually makes me a little disappointed because I'm like, why aren't we using these models for the fucking battles?
Well, it's the same model.
No, it's not because it's being developed by Bandai Namco.
Yeah,
Well,
these are
Bandai Namco needs to Bandai Namco their asses and fucking make the RPG look like this because this is amazing.
Okay,
But it's
here's
not.
something.
But the thing is, though, it's not Game Freak.
Yeah, it's not Game Freak. It's Bandai Namco.
Yeah. Just like with Snap, where the original Snap, where it was developed by both Jack and Beans. That's a very nice name, and HAL Laboratory.
Well, they need to let some of their people work over at Game Freak temporarily, have some vacation time over there, or like partner up or something, so that we can get these models in the fucking RPG game. Because this looks amazing. Like, I would love.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, I would love if the Pokemon looked like this.
Well,
Now, Snap is coming.
Around, they have like a lot of new animations that kind of show off their things a little bit better, like their personalities.
Yeah.
They're not just like standing there statically like they do in Sword and Shield.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's been that way since X and Y, sadly. Like,
yeah,
since X and Y I hate. I'm gonna be honest. Like, most of those 3D models.
I miss Scraggy dropping the pants in black and white. Why do the black and white moving pixels have more character?
And whatever the fuck they did to Ferrothorn and Ferroseed, fuck that. Like, yeah, they literally Ferroseed. They were just like, sink that motherfucker.
Put him in the ground.
Put him in the ground. And Ferrothorn used to float like a UFO. It was kind of cool. Now he's just like pathetically on the ground.
Yeah, it seemed like he was like kind of like hanging from like a cave ceiling or something. But
right, it's like it's so bad. It just I hope I don't know. They got to do something about those models. Like and that's what makes me so upset about this Pokemon Snap.
It's not even the models. I think the models still look good in Sword and Shield. Like they're still like very high quality models, but it's like
the
animations are so boring. Like,
just give them some personality.
They have been using. And then Typhlosion is one. He doesn't have flames on him, and then they're still like the really stupid like the Sky Battle ones. We haven't had Sky Battles since 2013. Let me reiterate that. Right. We have not had Sky Battles in almost 7 years, and yet you still have Pokemon with the really stupid looking gliding animation, like Swellow. Swellow looks so much cooler on the ground with like his like wings tucked behind him, like in the Gen 3 and 4 games. Or I don't think 4 actually, but like his Gen 3 sprite. Look at his Gen 3 sprite, and then look like his stupid gliding pose that he does, like from
Mega Pidgeot.
Like certain Pokemon just look better like on the ground, and then I don't know why they just can't change that. Like that seems like it would be so simple.
And then like what makes it even worse, I remember, is because like there's they stare forward and they don't do anything. It's just like you said, Typhlosion has no fire on it. It's just that.
Remember Kecleon in like Battle Revolution, how he like kind of like twitched like a real chameleon?
Yeah.
And then, like now he just kind of does the same thing that every other Pokemon does. He just kind of stands there like hunched over and moves a little bit.
The only thing you can blame is Game Freak here.
And you want to know?
Well, it's not even Game Freak. Game Freak doesn't even make the models. It's one of their other Creatures makes the models. Creatures makes the models.
You know what's sad in the like remember in the older sprites, the reason those look so appealing is because they were in like mid attack when you saw those older sprites. So I don't know. It gives them more personality. Whereas here they're just like Marshtomp, I think, has it the worst. He's staring off into space.
That became a meme on freaking Japanese.
Yeah, he blanked out. He is not there. Like you can call him out to battle, but he is not there.
Mm-hmm. Like again, I don't think the problem is with the models themselves. It's just with like how they're portrayed with the weird animations and just not doing much.
It's very stiff is the issue.
Yeah. I mean, these models made us not like stand up.
And then he sat his ass back down when you stopped.
People are always like, "Oh, Game Freak has like a small development team." I looked up like the people who made Battle Revolution. I forget what the name was. It was a while ago. Genius Sorority. They have like 20 people working for them, and like they made all of those I mean, they didn't make them all from scratch. Like some of them were reused from like Coliseum and XD and stuff like that.
Stadium and shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think the Stadium ones were actually overhauled by the time that they came out with Battle Revolution. Like they made new ones for the Gen 1 Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
But I was like, man, that was 20 people, and they were able to have so much charm and personality in these almost 500 Pokemon that were.
To be fair, it's because that's the only thing they had going with that game.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like, why not outsource that? Like it's not like you don't have the funds.
The issue with this is, specifically with Pokemon Snap, and you guys talking about the animation. The only reason why they can get away with what you're seeing here is only because they don't and will not be using all 900 plus Pokemon. You know for a fact you're only going to get about like 100 to 200 Pokemon at best.
How many were in the original Snap? Like 60?
55, something 50. Like that.
55, yeah. Like it's not a lot. It's not a lot. Granted, I hope that for a 2020, well, not even 2020, it's probably going to be way further in the future. Granted, by like the in development thing, they didn't even give us like a time frame, so it's probably really early
there, yeah.
in development here. So I hope for a 2021, 2022 maybe Switch title that it will be way more fleshed out. It'll be longer at least. I'm not expecting like hundreds upon hundreds of Pokemon, but I think for a $60 value, which unless they make it cheaper for some reason, which they hardly ever do, I think that the game being longer definitely needs to be a thing. Because like the original Snap is a very, very good game. It's a very well put together game and it's aged very well, I think. But it is short. You can speedrun it in an afternoon. So I'm hoping that they just kind of add new levels or something like that.
Well, you probably would look at ideally maybe a 10-hour game.
Yeah,
if they really want to do it. And if they really want to do it right, probably maybe put maybe 250. That would be realistic.
Yeah, that sounds like just the perfect amount. Like you're not going overboard. Everything's gonna be well done for the most part. It's not gonna be like they're not gonna be overwhelmed like with 250 Pokemon and maybe like a 10-hour game with just like maybe a few more levels than the original had. I think that sounds great.
Here's two ways personally I could see making Pokemon Snap, even if they were to have a limited amount of Pokemon in it, be a game that can have a long longevity to it. Number one, have these immediately be enabled to post onto social media without having to go to like the Nintendo.
I was thinking kind of required at this point.
Yeah, because there's going to be people that they're probably going to have like instant posts to like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
No, that's what I'm saying. We need that. We definitely need something like that that'll immediately send them to wherever you want to put them on social media. Whether Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, whatever it may be. But that needs to be an implementation into this game. It is for sure. Second thing I want to see in this game in particular, online leaderboards. I think that can also be a great thing to make the high score gimmick actually mean something worthwhile now this time around. And have like highlights to where a particular picture, or maybe like there's like a high score for overall in terms of like the island itself, and the stuff you filmed, and then there could be like the MVP pick of the week or something like that. You know, try to make it competitive for a picture taking game. I think that's important.
I am waiting for the guy to rage on a fucking Pokemon Snap game. Like, bruh, this dude got his high score MVP pick. That Lapras near the water is fucking trash, boy.
It's not even in the center of the frame.
Man, fuck that. Nintendo just let anybody in, huh? Fuck yeah. But nah.
Well, John Game here in the chat, he says day-night system would be a great way.
I was gonna say that was gonna be my third choice.
Why even stop there? I think that alternate weather, like think about the wild area and stuff. How different kinds of weather bring out different Pokemon. I think that would be a great way to like replay levels and find different Pokemon in the same environment.
I think the DLC should just be different seasons.
You know, I would love to see online multiplayer for this too. As dumb as that sounds, online multiplayer
I would
could also be good
ironically
with
buy
this.
DLC for this game.
Yeah. And they need to let your model be able to, well, the character you customize or create or whatever, be able to take selfies with the Pokemon. I see no reason why that's not a thing.
There might be like a particular land, like maybe after you take a picture of it, that Pokemon can visit you.
Yeah,
and then
like
from there you can take a picture.
It visits and then you can take selfies.
Also, another thing, because you're talking about that, Tyrone, customization for the trainer.
That's what I said. Yeah, I'm like,
I saw you talk about selfie stuff.
You're
no, but I mean like customize the trainer, like actually give equipment designs to hair, all that stuff like in the Sword and Shield games.
Customize the camera, customize the camera so it has.
Yeah,
like,
the
nice
filters, you can unlock different filters, have the
filters,
black
that's
and
what-
white, all that stuff.
Yeah, you can.
Someone also mentioned Labo support, and I think that would be great if this game utilized gyroscope in the Switch. This would be the ultimate Switch handheld game.
This is the ultimate Labo game.
The defining Labo VR handheld game right here.
This will make
Labo
Labo equipment sell off the shelves if this
This is
gets
the
confirmed.
ultimate Labo game. It's the third Labo game.
You need Labo version 2.0 to actually get it running on the Pokemon Snap. And shit, I have version 1. Nah, but see, stuff like this. You implement what you have with you and use it to your advantage. This is going to make bank for both Nintendo and for Pokemon. Nintendo with the Labo support and Pokemon with the Labo support and this game itself. And also all the implementations that they can have in the game. I think they have... And it's funny, this game I feel will do more than what Sword and Shield wishes it could accomplish because of the only reason why is because in this day and age right now, social media picture taking is the wave. And this game is going to be that.
Oh, it's going to be memeable as fuck.
If there are glitches in the game that we can exploit, holy shit, I can't wait to try that
Well,
out.
then again, though, when I was playing Snap yesterday, I took a picture of Chansey when he looked high.
Yeah,
the eyes.
Yeah, it's you can do frame perfect snaps and all that shit. I think it's gonna create a lot of amazing opportunities, man, and I'm excited for this. There is a lot to look forward to with this game. Now I want to touch upon a particular question you brought up before, John. Before we continue on to our other discussions, you talked about what we can expect from this upcoming week's Pokemon event. I know we also glared upon Pokemon Cafe, Smile, and all those other things that were announced, but Pokemon Cafe is going to be coming out tomorrow, so I'm going to be playing that, see how that is. It's apparently like a gacha-esque game. Well, not really. It's like a puzzle game. It has microtransactions, though.
It kind of reminds me of Yokai Watch Puni Puni in a way.
It reminds me of those Tsum Tsums from the freaking Disney ones. You know, those weird fat Mickey Mouse plushies and whatnot? Yeah, that's what it reminds me of with this particular game style. But, I can't really say anything on it until it comes out. It's not really that far off anyway, so it's not like we're going to be waiting that long. So
it looks cute.
It does look cute. I love the art style already. Apparently, your partner Pokemon, when you begin the game, is going to be in Eevee. So we're all going to have our own Floof.
Basically, like I said, they're using characters that were in Pokemon Cafe in Japan. Like, you can buy those as a small, you can buy them as plushes in Pokemon Cafe, because I actually got one of them. I got the Floofmeister plush because for that specific one you have to actually pre-order it with your reservation. You cannot buy those when you get there. You can only pre-order them and pay for them.
Yeah.
And then pick them up when you have your reservation.
But so John, take it away, buddy. I know you might have your own speculations as to what you think could come from this week. I'm not expecting much, honestly. I'm expecting that mobile game that they talked about last year to be the thing that'll come out this year.
Which mobile game are you talking about?
There is a mobile game that the Pokemon Company was working with under a different studio. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I forgot.
That totally slipped my mind. I had no clue what that was.
Hold on, let me see. If I can find it, I'll let you know. Let me see.
Detective Pikachu 2 says Savion. I think that's definitely a safe bet.
That better.
We have not heard anything from that project in quite a while now. I think Pokemon Sleep is another safe bet. I already mentioned Pokemon 2. I think that's possible. People were saying Let's Go Johto. I don't know. I'm on the fence about Let's Go Johto because I feel like they are most definitely not showing anything related to the core series. We will not be seeing Sinnoh remakes. We will not be seeing any kind of Gen whatever thing coming out.
Pokepark 3, maybe.
I honestly thought the Pokemon Snap that this trailer right here when I first saw it, I honestly thought it was gonna be Pokepark 3 until the camera popped up. So I was like Pokepark 3, like that was my literal reaction. But
why not get a Pokemon? Why not get a Pokemon Pinball remake?
Honestly,
that would
yeah.
be
I
cool.
mean,
I would like
I think the Johto plushes on the shelf behind them could actually even tell of a Coliseum remake. I think that would be amazing if we could see like a Coliseum or even XD or even both put together. Like
No, because I'll tell you, Coliseum remake people will be out the door.
Well,
about it.
I said this in my last video about Coliseum. I think that Coliseum nowadays with the whole national dex thing, because remember what Coliseum's original purpose was? It was to bring in Pokemon that you could not catch in Ruby and Sapphire because you could not transfer from Gold and Silver up to Ruby and Sapphire. There were a lot of Gen 1 and Gen 2 Pokemon that got left behind, 180 to be exact.
Right.
But in Coliseum, that problem was alleviated a little bit. There were some shadow Pokemon that you could transfer into the Ruby and Sapphire games once you had beaten them, and that was extended on in XD Gale of Darkness. And I think if you remastered those games and added newer gen Pokemon into it, I think it could serve the same purpose here. I think that would be a great call if they were able to bring back Coliseum XD and have them serve a similar role now that they did back then, which is bringing the forgotten Pokemon back.
Right.
Mm.
Does anyone?
Well, it's gonna have to be a remaster because
yeah,
they're not going to. I mean, we're talking about they probably don't have the source code. Maybe they do have the source code, but they would have to recompile it for the ARM because remember, originally GameCube is PowerPC.
Yeah.
So they would have to rewrite it, and while you're rewriting it, you might as well just remaster all the assets.
Okay, I found what I was going to talk about before. I know this title is going to confuse the shit out of everybody, but just hear me out with this one.
No.
New new Pokemon game coming from the Call of Duty mobile studio and Tencent. Chinese publishing...
10 cents. Well, 10 cent. Well, 10 cent. That's how much their fucking stock is worth because it's garbage.
Chinese publishing giant Tencent has its fingers in a lot of video game pies already, and now it seems that one of its subsidiaries, the Teamy Studio Group, has partnered with the Pokemon Company. According to a statement shared on Twitter and translated by Japanese game consultant Serkan Toto, Teamy has assumed development of an unrevealed Pokemon game. Now, Tencent specializes in a lot of free-to-play games, and Teamy in particular is best known for Arena of Valor, a free-to-play mobile MOBA. I'm pretty confident if you've seen a lot of commercials on YouTube, you might know which one that is. The studio is currently working on a Call of Duty mobile game, which will also be free-to-play when it officially launches later in the future, and as such, there's reason to believe that this new Pokemon game will also be a free-to-play mobile game as well. However, it's worth noting that the Arena of Valor is also available for free on the Nintendo Switch, so it's not unprecedented for Teamy's game to be released on consoles as well. Whatever this game could be, it could be anything. So, you know...
This going to be Tyrone's first-person Intellian shooter that he was talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I think it'll be? And I know maybe many people might hate for me with saying this. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon gotcha game.
Oh no! Don't ruin that series! Don't do
I
it.
think the best way to take it is to literally get the Mystery Dungeon side of things.
Well, do we know how much or how well the remake sold
Of which one?
of the original Mystery Dungeon?
Let me think. I think it sold 1 million units, if I recall correctly.
That's pretty good for Mystery Dungeon.
Well, especially on the Switch too. It's one of the million units. So let me just double
I
check.
have to wonder if it was just like one of those easy things for them to be like, you know what? Let's remaster the first game. We'll see how it sells, and if it sells X amount of copies, we'll consider doing another one. And I would love it if that were the case. I love Mystery Dungeon. I'd love to get another one, even though I think Super was a great conclusion. I would still love even more Mystery Dungeon content because I just love the genre.
Yeah, here it is. As of March 2020, the game has sold over 1 million copies worldwide. So this is on the same month that it had released. It sold 1 million units. And this was also the perfect time for this game to release due to the events that were happening at the time, being of COVID-19.
Oh, it's a great pandemic game. It's a great pandemic game.
The fact that we had to say pandemic game is...
Oh, yeah. Pokemon and Animal Crossing have been, like, pandemic juggernaut.
Oh yeah, if you're a JRPG like Xenoblade, or you're something chill like Animal Crossing, or if you're Mystery Dungeon where you have like the 2.5 hour dungeons in the late game, yes, you're set. Those are the games you want to be right now.
Now, one thing to also bring up, I also want to bring this up, given that Nintendo had announced this not too long ago. Nintendo also had come out stating that Nintendo will now, I believe, no longer be working on mobile games moving forward. Given the pandemic success with Animal Crossing in particular, it seems like they're going to be going back into working more on the console side of things.
That makes sense, because considering that for a little while you couldn't even find a Switch, and you couldn't even find 3DS and 2DSs either.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So Nintendo were really raking it in during this time, and I think they realized that, okay, instead of trying to work on two different platforms, we're going to instead focus on the Switch and see what we can continue to produce there to get fans to continue to buy the game. Right. Now, with that being said, though, from what it states, the games that have released so far are still going to be supported. It's just new games that are going to be coming out are not going to be the ones to really get anything new because, well, they don't exist. So, for me in particular, I was a little nervous when I read this. As you guys know, one of my favorite games from Nintendo recently has been Dragalia Lost. I really love the game. Mm-hmm. So I was concerned what this could mean for both Fire Emblem Heroes and Dragalia Lost. Both of those franchises are still doing pretty well on the mobile side of things, given that they're gacha games. So I don't think we're going to be seeing them disappear anytime soon.
They just started less than a year ago with Pokemon Masters, too. So
yeah, I haven't heard nothing about Masters, but that's mostly because that's on the Pokemon Company side of thing, not really much on Nintendo. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen here with the future of mobile games for Nintendo anyway. For the Pokemon Company, for a fact they're still going to continue to produce Pokemon content because they have the right to do so.
Right.
But yeah, that's something to keep an eye out on for future events to come with Nintendo. Now, let's just hope that this could mean maybe we'll get a Dragalia Lost game on the Switch. I'm just saying, I would love that. I would love a story on the Switch. I think that would be phenomenal. Please, fingers crossed. Also, come on, Yuden for Smash 2. I'm not asking for much, man. I'm only playing your game and spending thousands of dollars on it. At least hear my plea, please.
I know it can't happen, obviously.
Well, they'll build a full Switch game off of KG's wallet.
Yes.
And it'll be mine.
So he'll have solace in that.
Grand Blue got a console game, so it's possible. Yeah, it is indeed possible. And I'm looking forward to it when it does ever happen. And also the anime, too. Nintendo did state before that they wanted to make an anime. Come on, you literally have an anime right there you can make. It's literally there in your pockets.
It is.
Do it!
Do it!
For real, let's get Fire Emblem an anime.
There's a lot of stuff that Nintendo could be making animes out of that aren't Pokemon. Like, literally, why is Pokemon, like, the only one? Yeah. Other than Kirby.
Because
Azure Lane even did it as well, as the chat is mentioning. Azure Lane is
because Japan Rail owns partially of that.
But that's why they should. Cygames, in case you are unaware of, Cygames is a megaton in Japan. They are with some of the most huge titles on mobile markets. Grand Blue Fantasy is one of them, and I'm pretty confident a lot of people have already heard about them. So they can do wonders with making a Dragalia Lost anime, given that it is with Cygames. So fingers crossed that maybe we can see that happen. I'm just saying. But yeah, so anything else you guys wanted to talk about for what is to come for this upcoming week of the Pokemon whatever event it's called?
Yeah, when is that?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Same time as the last one, right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Oh, not at the same time? Is it? I have no clue.
Oh, you want to know what? I think I got thrown off because of the Smash Direct, so I think it is the same time.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
You know what also threw me off too? There was another game that was also revealed earlier today as well that I thought was supposed to be for tomorrow, but they announced it today. Yeah, I just want to take a little second to talk about Crash real quick, because for those who play Crash...
Because Richie's not here to do it.
Yeah, so, ladies and gentlemen, Crash is a thing. All right, now then, let's go and move on to the next topic. Yeah, it's about damn time. All right, so...
Yeah, plumber boy, mustache man, your time has arrived.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's a thing. That's all I can say, really. I have nothing much more to say to it. So,
I think it's good to see that the Crash series is actually getting a lot of love.
Yeah, congratulations for Crash fans for finally getting the games that they've wanted, man. I feel happy for them. They deserved it. I mean, after the success of the Insanity trilogy that they released not too long ago, and the success it did, hell yeah, they deserve to get a sequel, and they rightfully did, I believe.
Right.
So, with that being said, is there anything else in particular that you guys would like to talk about before we get into tonight's main topic of the week?
I can't think of anything.
Well, I'm happy. Well, I'm happy that New York City's in stage 2 now for reopening. That means that hopefully soon I'll be able to shop in Kinokuniya soon.
Oh man, I need to start buying me my manga books again. I'm so behind with a lot of volumes here. Oh, somebody says about the DLC. Watch our stream sessions. We've literally dabbled on it there.
Yes.
I mean, we'll say this: it's worth the money, or at least I think it's worth the money.
Yeah, it is. It is worth it, but not. I mean, not necessarily for the main content, but the side stuff.
Oh yeah.
The side stuff is worth it.
Yeah.
I'm playing it right now, actually.
That explains so
I'll
much.
tell you this much.
But,
The daily spawns are really good.
Yo, I just
If
unlocked
it's not a zero aura, then yeah.
I just unlocked the supplements inside of the vending machine. Now I can actually train my Pokemon. Cool.
Right.
Comment, why are you talking about manga decks for in particular? I know of manga decks, but I'm just wondering why you're referring to that is all. But yeah, so honestly, the DLC for me is great. I had a lot of fun with it. There was also a leak that came out. Well, not really a leak, but somebody managed to kind of like manipulate the Switch system and discovered the actual mapping of what's going to be for the Crown's Tundra. And spoiler alert, it's double the size of what we got for the Isle of Armor.
That's good. That's good.
And they said in like the reveal live stream, they said that the theme of the Crown Tundra was going to be exploration, and I was I was kind of worried it would be like a small area like Isle of Armor, but maybe like a few more. I guess worried is the wrong word. I was kind of expecting it to be like that.
I think from what we saw via the leak, it showed like there are 16 locations you can fly to or something like that.
That's awesome, because honestly, that's like the one thing I don't like about Isle of Armor is that you can only fly to like a handful of locations. But I think it's awesome that they're going to have... It looks like it's half the size of mainland Galar, and that is like... It's way more impressive than it sounds like, because you have to consider it's entirely open world area, like inside of it, which is awesome, because like the main game and Isle of Armor doesn't have any dungeons, and it seems like all the dungeons are going to be here in the Crown Tundra, which is awesome. So
which is good, yeah. Like
Speaking about more Digletts, okay, yeah, we'll do some more.
I'm just hoping there's going to be exploration inside
what
and
is that
out.
noise I hear in the background?
I want their... I don't know who's doing that.
It's like, oh, okay. It sounded like as if somebody was outside in the streets.
I mean, even now, the Islands of Armor, like just walking around and finding like little items in there, and regrouping with older Pokemon and stuff. Like to even now that we've had a while since the DLC's been out. I'm actually really like I always find myself enjoying something about it because of the way it's. Because of the new stuff that I can find and stuff like that. And to be fair, the Islands of Armor wasn't the big heavy exploration one. Obviously, Crown Tundra was. So knowing that, I still feel like they did a good job. I still feel like I got my money's worth.
And that's another thing too. For even as a DLC, this is a purchase worth buying if you're a competitive battler. Because if you're fortunate enough, you can actually find some mints, some very useful battle items as well.
You can find somebody legitimately resetting your EVs and IVs.
Yeah, that's super useful, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And don't do what I did, and don't give your Inteleon the max suit.
Why?
Because now I can't use them in competitive battle anymore.
Wait, what? Why?
Just put it back.
Yeah, I gotta buy more mushrooms, but I just figured that out. The problem is because the Gmax starters aren't in competitive yet.
Well, that sucks.
Oh, you mean like on the ladder? Like on the...
Yeah, they're not legal yet.
Okay, I thought you were talking about just like regular Smoggin, and I was like, bro, all of Dynamax is banned. He was gonna get banned.
Also, I feel bad for those who want new Pokemon, or at least a lot of old Pokemon to come back in the next pack, because it's literally just like half of it is legendaries.
Also, legendaries.
Yeah. It's the Legendary Fest featuring pseudo legendaries.
There's not a ton coming back, but again, like if it's mostly about exploration and less about just like the Pokemon catching, I'm fine with that because there's more than enough Pokemon catching between like the main game and Isle of Armor. Like there's a lot of emphasis on that already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The entire game and DLC is $180 total. Excuse me. Well, I mean it's $90 per each one. Yeah, it does go to $200, but that's only if you're gonna be doing that, buddy.
Hey, at least you're not playing like Trains 2019, $5,000 worth of DLC. Let's go.
Yeah, Hong Kong. Now, you guys ready then for our main topic for tonight? I know we're gonna get into this one because a lot of people are really excited to hear our opinions on this. Now,
yes, indeed.
Before I get into the main review for the week, I just want to clarify something real quick, only just to make sure everybody understands what's about to go down. Understand that opinions are simply opinions. Do not let our thoughts on the episode dictate how you should enjoy or not enjoy an episode. And overall, at the end of the day, just have fun with what you got. But now, we are going to be getting into our main review in this week's episode of PM 2019. So,
and I have to before I have to interrupt, and this is going to go on the video. It has to be on the first video. I've seen a lot of people comment on the initial reaction. People have said it's like, oh, Korrina's still gym leader. Yes. The problem is when I was saying that, everybody was talking over the audio because I had the audio going. I couldn't hear because Korrina said in the Japanese. She said, I got the screenshot. But I have the closed captions. I'm going to say the actual Japanese that she said.
I'm surprised the closed captionings weren't in the actual episode itself.
Well,
that would have been helpful.
Well, no, because they're in the stream itself and not on like live thing. She says, "Demo kyou no watashi wa gym leader janai yo." That means, but today I'm not a gym leader. Like I'm not a gym leader for today. Talking about for today, like I'm not here today as a gym leader. I'm here to challenge
the championship
championship and take him down.
Also,
that's what she said.
The thing is, with the subbed recently, I don't know if this is something that they did recently. The people who are subbing this, they changed the Leon thing to like a monarch now instead of like how it was.
Yeah, I touched upon that. I touched upon that briefly last week because they I think they did what was it Ojo? I think it was let me see. I think that's what it was. Not Ojo. Joel. What is it? What the fuck is the word? I gotta look back 1 second.
Yeah, but the point is that the people who were subbing it, which I think is some stuffs, they changed the way they called it with like Leon being like the Pokemon World Champion into like the Pokemon Monarch, something like that. So yeah. They've been doing like a little workaround with that whole thing. I guess assuming it might be because of the whole Pokemon
they used the word monarch for Oja.
Yeah.
But Oja has two meanings. The first one is a king, a monarch, a ruler, but the second one is the correct one, which is what they fucking should use. It's the reigning champion. That's the fucking correct one.
Yeah, so this is something that I don't know what they're going to go with for future subbing, but yeah, that's a thing now. It's not really anything of a major deal. It's just more so like a little nitpick of mine that they decide to change something that didn't really need any change whatsoever, you know. But whatever. That has nothing to do with this week's episode. That's just a small little nitpick of the intro that goes before we actually get into the main topic of the week.
And with that being said, I'm going last.
All right, so let's take a little bit to talk about the summary for this week's episode. Ash and Go decide to head out to the Kalos region because two things. One, Go wants to collect Pokemon from Kalos, and two, there is this whole tournament thing that's happening, I believe in one part of Kalos, which I think was Shalor City, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they flew over Lumios. They didn't actually land in Lumios. They flew by over it. And they went to Shalor because there's a tournament going on there where trainers can compete with each other to raise their ranks in hopes of trying to advance into their next class. Of course, the next one that Ash needs to go through is the super class. So, with that being said, in their adventure, they reunite with their good pal Korrina, as well as her sidekick Lucario, and from there, this is where these two reunite, get some good old laughs, and have a battle at the end of the episode. So, how does everything all turn out in the end of it all? How was the battle? How was the story, etc.? And for clarification purposes, if you did watch our first impressions, as I noted in the beginning of the video, that was at 5 a.m., meaning we did not watch that subbed. We watched that as raw, and that was simply first impressions. That's why it's called literally a first impression.
I mean, I could have.
I know you could have, and there were some things you did.
I could have done a better job. However, 5 o'clock in the morning, brain isn't working, and I couldn't hear all of the dialogue because everybody was talking.
Well, to be fair, for all of us here, aside from you, TSS, none of us understood it. We just wanted to be there for the battle side of things, and that's kind of what we kind of went for.
It's Pokemon.
I understand some of it.
It's literally Pokemon. There's nothing too heavy. The body language can oftentimes speak for itself. That's what the thing I love about the Pokemon series. Animation can really do a good job with the body animation and let you kind of get the idea as to what's kind of being presented on screen. Now, with that said, time has passed since that initial first impression. We finally received the episode sub. Did our opinions change since then? Well, that's why we're here to discuss. And in my opinion, no. It didn't change.
Same here.
I knew he was going to say that.
Okay, yes, I did get clarification. Yes, there were things that were tweaked around from my initial opinion. There's something that doesn't get fixed when it's still subbed, and that's the battle.
Yeah, that's my opinion too.
Yeah.
Same here.
That to me is something that this is one of those episodes that hurts to say this, but it's true. This needed to be a double-parter. There was no excuse for them to not make this a two-parter. Here's the thing, because they've stated before, in the past, before Pocket Monsters 2019 became a thing, they stated that they've wanted to make the journey episodic. And they can. They said that at minimum they wanted to have episodes at least go to 2 episodes, so that way when Ash and Go move on into their next adventure, people who haven't watched the series previously can hop into it and be perfectly fine with whatever Ash and Go are doing. You know what I mean? Because
Reboot, sorry. Score Bunny's episode was a 2-parter.
Was it a 2-parter? Yeah, it was, because they went to see Score Bunny, and then they went to the wild area with Score Bunny.
It's just been Galar stuff that's 2-parters so far.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna say Leon's episode was a 2-parter.
So I get that they want it to be episodic, but at the same time, I think that's weird because every Pokemon series is episodic. I think the only one where that thing like, oh, you can miss an episode and you'll miss like context is maybe for Alola, because there's a lot of interconnected stuff in Alola, even in the episodes where it didn't feel like it was important. Like they maybe introduce a character that reappears later. So I don't know. I don't really like that excuse where like, oh, we're trying to make it more episodic, so we can't have 2-parters. It's just gonna be 1 part for everything. I feel like there are certain parts that need to be 2-parters, like this one.
Yeah, for the sake of a good narrative.
Exactly,
Yeah,
and
that
that's my.
doesn't always work out.
This is my big issue with this episode. I absolutely love the dialogue. I love how that is written. I love the chemistry Ash and Korrina share in this episode because it brings back those nostalgic days from the X and Y days. You know what I mean? Their dialogue, how they've seen each other, you know, how Ash was saying, hey, why are you telling Riolu to cheer for you when in reality it should be cheering for me because it's my Pokemon? Or when Ash and Korrina are like, oh, you know, we had a good battle back in the day. Yeah, but I won. And Korrina was like, really? That's all you care about? And it's like, that's the most important part, you know.
But I won, though.
Yeah, so that's what I love. I loved seeing that. And I also loved seeing Go hang out with Gherkin. That was something really cool, too.
I want to comment on that, too. I'm glad that Go spent most of that episode with Gherkin and not with Ash. Like, they don't need to be connected at the hip. I like when, like having Go and Ash be separate for that episode was actually really refreshing because we got to actually see Go interact as a character. Every interaction that Go has had so far to me. If it's important, Ash was there, unfortunately. So and Ash eats up the spotlight. Like even if he's not trying to or not intending to, he just does. We known him longer. His character's literally color designed to grab the attention. His character eats up the spotlight. So it was actually good to see Go, actually have a moment to be a character.
And this is a very minor thing, but I'm glad they didn't beat around the bush with like Gherkin and Go when it came to Ash. Because there were so many like past episodes. I think the one with Brock and Silent comes to mind, where they never like they reference Ash, but they never even like put the pieces together. Same thing with Silent and Clement, I believe.
Oh, if they did that shit, I would have been beyond pissed, man.
Yeah, so I was glad that, like, in their first encounter, how he was like, "Oh, I know this trainer from Kanto who battled my granddaughter, and his name is Ash." He's like, "Whoa, wait, Ash, that's my friend," and they're like, "Oh," so they got it done like pretty easily.
Yeah, I like that, and I also like that they played around with Go's like capture thing for a little bit. They knew the Flabebe gimmick, where like different Flabebes are different colors, because it's like he could have easily just caught a bunch of Pokemon and Kalos, which he did, but they also made him go ahead and catch different Flabebe and search. So he's shiny hunting essentially, and I like that's what I want to see. I want to see if you're a character who's introduced in the show to catch Pokemon, then do something interesting with it.
Yeah,
and that's interesting because like he's shiny hunting. I like that idea. So yeah, they did. I think they did real good with Go. At least in this episode, I think they did.
The fact that they even acknowledged that Ash was a thing is also my favorite thing about this episode. Because they could have just they could have had Gherkin not even be a part of this episode in terms of connecting with Ash. Like at the end of the episode, Gherkin could have gone to the left and Ash just walks from the right and would have been like, "Huh, who's that guy over there?" And that's how the episode would have ended. You know what I mean? They could have pulled a stunt like that. And really just made me mad if they did shit like that. But very glad that in terms of the way that story is written, I'm happy with it. I love that. Now, with that being said, though, this is where things start getting a little unfortunate for me.
Wonky.
Yeah. And, well, first of all, wonky animation for some bits of the fight. Yeah. And the other thing is the wonky battling itself. Whoo, boy, that battle was, to me personally, a wreck. I loved bits of it. I cannot deny the fact that there were elements in that fight that I did not like. Like, for example, I loved the whole animation sequence when Lucario was just multi-jabbing on Dragonite and then lunging that Dragonite from one part of the arena to the other side. Like, that shit, in terms of the animation, looked smooth as hell.
Yeah.
So I love bits like that. My problem with it... Go on.
Sorry. The other good thing about the battle was that one kid just flying up in the air.
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah, that shit made my day when we saw it.
I made a tweet about him. He's that's NPC number 587 right there. Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Big F's in the chats for our boy NPC number 587. Then.
Yeah, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here for a second. Sure. I liked everything about the battle. I thought the battle was great, other than Gengar kind of getting the short end of the stick. I just didn't like anything else that really wasn't the battle in the episode. I feel like
you're the opposite.
Oh, yeah,
you didn't tell me.
I liked the dialogue, as KG said earlier. I liked the little moments that they had. I just didn't like how they kind of framed it as like a Riolu thing. How they're like, this is important for Riolu, and then they spend like almost no time talking about Riolu. And then there's a very abrupt start to the episode. There's a very abrupt end to the episode. There's not much outside of the actual battle.
This is what needed to have been a double-parter, because honestly, what they could have done is they could have had a tag team episode with Riolu and Lucario in episode 1 to kind of get everybody to reconnect with each other again, and then have episode 2 be the main battle itself, a full-on episode focused on the battle. Because the issue is they tried to cram in so much in so little time.
Yeah. And so many people were like, oh, there should have been a flashback. No, there doesn't need to be a flashback. You don't need a flashback showing all these old characters and whatnot to get
That's being content. A little too hopeful.
Plus, I think way too much screen time.
Yeah, I think what they did was fine with like Korrina introducing herself to Ash's Pokemon and them giving like the brief little backstory. I think that was absolutely fine. You don't need to have this whole thing where like, oh, I remember that time where this and that and this and that happened.
Guys,
They did that a little too much with Brock and Misty, and that's like a one minor thing that I dislike.
I mean, but they had the benefit of having a two-parter.
Yeah. They do. That is definitely one thing that they have at their disposal. But I wish that there was more. There needed to be more after the battle. I wish that like maybe Riolu was like, "Oh, I learned this new move because I watched Lucario do it," or maybe I'm attempting to learn this new move.
Right, like you're gonna learn Power Up Punch or something.
Yeah, like that would have been cool. And I would have preferred if there was more. Why was the Clawitzer guy there? I mean, I guess it was just like the show that Ash was.
I feel like he's gonna play a pivotal role later because they never. They fought once, but they could use him again.
He honestly felt like the Furfrou guy to me. I was like, why are you in this episode? Why are you taking up so much time? I was
I thought he was just the way he looks ugly too. So
it was quite honestly, I feel like it was the worst paced Pokemon episode since like early XY. Like I was like, man, I have not seen an episode this poorly paced in a long time. It just should have been a two-parter straight up. Like they needed to divide the battle because the battle animation was pretty good from what I saw. There were some smooth scenes even outside the battle, like when Go's trying to catch the Pokemon.
Yeah, when he's catching the Barbacle, that's actually really good.
I was like, man, that was a smooth bit of animation. Sun and Moon did that a little bit with just some random character moments, like when
it didn't even need to be there, but they were there. Like when Ash was slipping, sliding on the soap.
Like there's the time like where Lily's running on the ship, or like when what was her name, Lana when Lana's little sisters are like running around the school. There were like moments like that. They were like deceptively well animated, and I was like, why was that so well done? Like it's pleasant to see something that isn't just a battle, but like have some effort into it. And so I liked that little scene with Go. I liked everything from what I saw in the battle, which is that everything else was kind of meh. It felt a little flat. It felt like a pretty one-dimensional episode. Like it was just a battle episode, and I expected a little bit more.
And that's the thing that's the issue. That's
the issue though. It's because it's just a battle. And like the problem is, if you're gonna make it just the battle, then I'm sorry, John. I know you said you liked the battle, but to me, that wasn't a good battle, because if the battle's job was to show off if the battle's job had several jobs. It had one, you're reintroducing Korrina back into the series, and they already made it apparent this is a Korrina that Ash knows. So they're referencing XY series. So you got to understand that if they're using the material, then I'm going to use the material too to judge it.
I think I just didn't expect much out of the battle because I went into this episode knowing that they weren't going to try to top Ash versus Korrina, the original, like the gym battle.
Not. But if your job is to show off Korrina, then this battle didn't do a good job at all. Like it made her Lucario look piss poor. If your job was to show off Mega Evolution for the first time in this series, that did a piss poor job too, because for Christ's sakes, it lost against Dragonite. Even though Minshao did a lot of the work, and then Lucario followed up with Mega Evolution. So it's like Dragonite got.
Well, this was like Dragonite's like first official trainer battle.
And that's what makes it worse.
Yes, because it wasn't a raid battle.
Yeah, that's what makes it worse to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I like seeing Dragonite fight for the first time. I don't like what happened with Gengar, because Gengar seems like more of the battler.
What makes it absolutely worse is that Gengar had to take the fall for that.
I don't know. It was just nice to see Dragonite battle, I guess, and it was nice to see that Dragonite is dependable. Like I kind of pegged Dragonite as like the comic relief character who wasn't going to be great at battle. I saw him as like the Rowlet of this series, ironically enough.
Yeah.
And I kind of like when characters like that are like deceptively strong.
Yeah, like Mr. Mime.
I didn't mind Dragonite just being like really good and like dragon dancing twice and just sweeping. Like,
no, he did like a 2-0 kind of 2-1. It was
yeah.
So I didn't mind Dragonite just being like really strong and making Mega Lucario look like a pushover. I just thought that it was weird how they paced it, especially with the Gengar stuff, because like Gengar was in and out in like 30 seconds. It felt like I was like, man, that kind of stunk. I wish we saw more out of him.
Yeah, it never landed a hit in this entire battle.
I don't mind Dragonite winning, but I do mind it in the context that this is Korrina's Mega Lucario. The same Mega Lucario that had to go how many episodes in order to master it so that, Lucario wouldn't end up biting Korrina in mid-fight or something. Like, there's so much work that was put into making it a legitimate, strong character, only for it to get freaking knocked out by Dragonite after it did a bunch of attacks on it. It felt like they really wanted to show off how powerful Mega Evolution was, but they also were like, we can't afford to have Ash lose, so we gotta do something.
It's the power of the Dragon Claw, buddy. When it's in Kalos, that shit multiplies by 100 at this point.
I will say, I'm just glad it was Dragonite and not Riolu. I was actually like genuinely scared going into the episode. I was like, if Riolu beats Lucario through this power of friendship BS, I was like, this is gonna be the worst episode ever. This is gonna be so bad.
I don't think it would have went that far.
Okay, not the worst episode ever. It would not have been the worst episode ever, but it would have been like, it would have just been like a real
It would have been the
cop-out.
most disappointing episode.
It would have been very disappointing. I was like, did this newly hatched Riolu just defeat Mega Lucario like that?
Through the power of Aura. Yeah.
So I did like Riolu, like spectating. I just wish he got more out of it, or at least more than what we saw.
I would have loved to have seen
maybe
Riolu
he
and
did.
Lucario work with each other. That would have worked.
Yeah. Like, maybe he did get something out of the battle, but we're just not going to see it for a little while. Like, maybe further down the road, but I wish it kind of kickstarted here, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
And now it's time for me.
No,
which is
hold
gonna
on,
be a
though,
complete
because
180.
there's one last thing I want to bring up
All right.
before I pass this on to you,
I mean,
TSS. I
I was gonna
apologize.
say my thoughts weren't completely done, but yeah,
I only have one.
Complete. You got complete, you guys.
I only have one thing left to say, and that's Shinji Miyazaki's music is great, and it was awesome.
Yeah, that was
M19, yeah.
Yeah, that was the big shock because nobody saw that happening. So what does this mean for Shinji tracks in the future?
Yeah, it wasn't the Mega Evolution theme.
And he was credited in the credits.
It wasn't an XY battle theme. That was the main thing. I was like, why did they use the two Galar themes when you could have had XY? Now that I know, it's like you have access to Shinji Miyazaki's music still. It's like,
release the goddamn soundtrack if you're not going to do anything with it then.
Yeah, it's like, man, if we went to Kalos, I want to hear some Kalos music. I mean, we technically did get some Kalos music because it was like from movie 19, the Volcanion movie.
Yeah, but it wasn't necessarily Kalos music.
Yeah, it's Kalos music, but it's not Kalos music, exactly. And so I hope that maybe by the time they get back to Alola, they'll be using more Shinji Miyazaki.
They better. There's some tracks that are heavily underutilized.
Yeah, I hope it's like a steadily increasing thing. And you know what? They have Kanto remixes from I Choose You and The Power of Us that they could be using in the Kanto episodes. So I hope there's a little more of a mix going forward. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, so one last thing to note before I pass this one on to you, TSS. The thing that I had the most issue with this episode when it came to the fight, I was just bummed out with how fast it felt.
Yeah, that's another thing, because the pacing was all over the place in this fight.
Yeah, it felt so disorganized. And, this wouldn't be an issue had there been two things. One, they didn't heavily promote the shit out of this.
Yeah.
Two, they didn't go out of their way to upload 6 episodes of X and Y, make a poster about it, make all this shit about it, the promotion and whatnot. That shit should have been as minimal as possible. Be like, oh, she's returning in something like that. Oh, we're going to be, saying, oh, she's coming back next week. That's going to be great. So hope you guys look forward to it. But because of the way that they promoted this shit, making it such a big deal, and this episode, by the way, is a big deal because Ash went to the superclass. And this is how he got there? To me, that's what I was disappointed with the most. This is the battle that got him to the superclass.
Yeah.
And I think that they did a piss poor job with making it feel very impactful.
True.
Yeah, so that's my issue with it.
I want to make a response to that too, only because a lot of people reacted to our a lot of people commented on our reaction vid that you posted on Twitter, and they've been like, oh, Tyrone, why are you surprised? Dragonite used Dragon Dance. He's part flying resists fighting. Why are you surprised? Blah blah blah. Here's the thing. I can follow game logic in a Pokemon anime sometimes because sometimes they loosely do it, but Pokemon themselves don't even follow a game logic in the anime. And my argument was that, yeah, Dragonite has a resistance to fighting moves. Fine. Dragonite used Dragon Dance, which it technically can't learn unless it's bred, but whatever.
I don't even apply the game logic anymore unless it's like newly hatched Riolu beats
Yeah,
Lucario.
exactly. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the only time where I'd be like, man, that sucks.
Yeah. But my thing is that if you throw the game logic out the window, the job here was introducing a character that was a very pivotal character in X and Y, and you're introducing a character who had a strong Pokemon that was supposedly getting stronger as time passes. With that being said, Korrina having a Lucario that she's had since she was a child, since it was a Riolu and she was a child, teaching it Mega Evolution, mastering Mega Evolution, and then introducing it into this series as this new form. This is literally Go's first time seeing it. It's everybody's first time seeing it. It's a power-up. Then you need to make it justifiable. And I'm sorry, Lucario's still a powerhouse when it's Mega Evolved. So that outweighs the resistance that Dragonite should have had, especially after it got hit by Minshaw's high jump kick and multiple attacks before then, as well as getting hit by multiple attacks from Lucario. It just felt like Lucario and Minshaw had to lose to make it so Ash can get that super class. But they had to make Lucario look strong too, so they had Gengar get one-shotted. And it's just that would combine with the weird pacing and that filler battle beforehand, it just made everything look sloppy. So that's why I didn't like the battle. I didn't like the battle not because Dragonite won. I didn't like the battle because it went out of its way to show off the strength of Dragonite, and it felt like they didn't even have enough time to justify it. I wouldn't have mind if Dragonite got a couple of more hits off on Lucario. I wouldn't have mind if he powered up with Dragon Dance and got a few Dragon Claws off on Lucario, and they're both injured, and then they do that final attack and they hit each other and Lucario falls. That's fine. But he didn't. He flapped his wings, knocked a couple of rocks towards Lucario. Lucario then proceeded to use Aura Spear, which knocked out Lucario's blast attack, making him fall straight into the dirt, and then hits him with Power Up Punch. All of that punishment, plus what Minshaw did, you could be a legendary Pokemon, and that still would have caused problems.
Also, can I just ask, what was with the hurricane bit? Because he flapped his wings, and yes, he got hit by a rock, yes, but what was he gonna follow that up with? What was his next strategy after that?
Shittiest half-done Ash Ketchum plan I've ever seen in my life. And I almost thought I just realized something. He didn't even hit him with a power-up punch, because this scene right here just showed me. He hit him up with power-up punches. So if that's the case, what did Mega Evolution and Power-Up Punch even do? Did it make Lucario stronger at all?
He went Super Saiyan, man. That's just how it is.
It honestly just felt like an aesthetic thing, where it was like, all right, you Mega Evolved.
Hey, look, he grew hair in his tail. Oh, great, that's great. Oh, gets punched.
I feel like it's just
look at it from Go's perspective. Go goes, wow, that's Mega Evolution. Sees Lucario get knocked out. Oh wow, that's a Mega Evolution.
I feel like it goes back to promotion for the games, which is of course the main
which
thing.
By the way doesn't make sense because Mega Evolution is not even in the game.
Yeah, Mega Evolution is not even there anymore. So I feel like it was one of those cases where it was
Mega Evolution's only available right now. The most recent game would be Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
And it's coming to Pokemon Go later.
Right.
If this was a Dynamax Lucario versus Dragonite, which game logically shouldn't be as strong. But I feel like it would have done more. Because it's what they're trying to promote right now. Because right now Dynamax is in. So anytime they're gonna fight a Dynamax Pokemon, they're gonna be like, oh man, this is so tough. But if it's a Mega Evolution or a Z move, if they go back to Alola, I feel like it's just not gonna mean much.
And also, Korrina mentioned that she wanted to overcome challenges. This would have been a great way to do that. Well, of course, it wouldn't make sense because they're in Kalos, but still, it would have been something interesting to have seen a concept like that be done. Unfortunately, the main issue is just they didn't have much time to really get the message that they wanted to get across. So it's like they had to work with what time they did, and I feel they didn't get the most out of it. For certain aspects. There are some elements in this episode I really enjoy. It's just that the ones that don't work don't work at all, and therefore heavily affects my opinion on this episode. I can't say I fully enjoyed the episode. I can only say I enjoyed half of the episode. And that's just my take on it.
As someone who liked the battle, I feel like it did fall a little flat compared to Ash versus whoever Lieutenant Surge's replacement.
Biscuits, I think her name was.
Yeah, Biscuits. Yeah.
That to me is still a far better fight than what we got in this episode.
You know what?
Better developed.
That brings up a good point. I wasn't even about to, I forgot to say that. I never mentioned the X and Y fight on purpose because I knew they weren't gonna that's completely unfair to compare it to that. But the Biscuits fight was better to me, so I'm not even comparing it to X and Y. Now I'm just comparing Pocket Monsters 2019
to Pocket Monsters 2019. Yeah, so I think we're all done here with our opinions. TSS, I know you have a completely different viewpoint from us. And I'm very happy that you are waiting for us at the end. And I apologize if we took a little too long for our thoughts on this. But, buddy, I'm going to pass this on to you. Take it away. I'm curious to hear what you have to say on this.
So, after watching this episode a couple of times, I realized what goal the writers wanted to do. And let me explain from the very beginning. So, for the beginning of the episode, we start with Satoshi in that battle, which actually fucking meant something. Because it was the victory that teetered him into getting into the rank to get into the super class. So that one had fucking merit, and it was before he met back up with Korrina. So it does have merit. So that wasn't a waste. That's number one.
I'll wait for you to finish.
Yes. So number two. So the whole thing with Korrina, okay, at the beginning when they introduced, okay, they did a fine job in the introductions, and then they have go, meeting up with her father and everything. That was totally fine. Having him go with that, that I find totally fine. So once we get into the battle, I realized that they wrote it like this on purpose. The reason that I have it is because, number one, it shows that Gengar still can have a weak point. A Pokemon can have a bad day at the office. That was shown here. Also, Gengar's not necessarily a tank. Okay, so that's number two. Number three, okay, I understand that the whole Mega Evolution thing. Why did you show it like this? It will show that. It will show further on with Riolu and Lucario that's going to have something happen in the close future. I think she's going to be back closer than what people would think. Also, the way that they wrote it, honestly, an 8 to 12-year-old kid would not give a fuck about what the technicalities were. Everybody else that's an adult, yes, we understand that because we notice everything. An 8 to 12-year-old kid is not going to give a fuck. If it took all the power up punches of the fucking Mega Lucario. They want to see action. It was yes, and I would say Shiny Zoroark. Yeah, Zoroark is right here. Setup episode. Yes, that means we're going to have future character development with Korrina. The pacing the double episode wouldn't have worked because the way that this series is laid out is they want to space it out. They don't want to throw all the eggs in one basket. And also, a 2v2 straddling to another episode, that doesn't work. If they had a whole have an 8-minute fight, 8-minute fight is fine. If it was a 3v3 or a 6v or a 4v4 even, then I would say, yeah, straddling episode would be fine. Was the battle great? No, of course not. But they did it. They also, once again, sprinkled the references to Kalos, the whole Alan versus, the whole Mega Charizard X versus freaking Jobber Frog. They had to throw that in there as kind of a tension moment. That was a great a great tension building moment, and that was fine. Now the way that they ended it, it was kind of rushed, and yes, of course, I would say but other than that, I know that Korrina will be back. It will show that Well, first of all, Dragonite's a fucking beast. I mean, we already know. I mean, now it established that it's a fucking beast, and it could resist a Mega Lucario. Okay, cool, nice. Now we're gonna have Korrina. Well, we're gonna have the thing with Korrina, Riolu, and Lucario. We're gonna have that maybe in the next 10 weeks or so. I'm hoping it's gonna be back. But the way that they were writing PM 2019. A double episode wouldn't have worked at this point in the game. If it was later on, then I would say yes. I think what's going to happen is we haven't seen the best yet. They want to save the best for when they can actually do real development. This is just an introduction. They didn't have to throw all their eggs in one basket just for this shit. She's coming back, so that's why I don't think of it as a shitty episode. Some people give it a 6. I give it a 7.75. Because it actually did its job, if you think about it from the perspective. And also, bad battle writing is subjective. It's not an actual thing. It's a subjective thing. The writers write these things for a purpose. Even though you may not agree with it, they wrote it for a purpose.
I mean, but again, like you said, since it's subjective, to me, it was bad writing because of the way... See... My only issue with the fact that you're saying that it's coming back later, you can't. And
actually, there is proof that she's coming back.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. If she's coming back later, she's coming back later. That's fine. But that's not gonna save this episode. I'm judging this episode, not what's gonna happen. And also, on top of that, you can't make a character's introduction bad on the pretense that it'll get better later. Like, if that's like the problem with that is that. You're reintroducing a character and then you're reintroducing them on the mindset, well, we can make this as lazy as we want to or as weirdly paced as we want to on the off chance that, we're bringing her back. That just makes it seem lazy at that point. Secondly, like, if you're gonna go out of your way to make the character come back, and you're using a character from XY, you even have the decency to have Ash remember her, then I'm going to use what they gave me. If they're using a character and they're using the character from the XY series, I'm going to judge it on what they gave me from the XY series. My thing is that and I never even said the episode was terrible. I liked the episode. I think the episode was good all the way up until this part. The problem is that this part takes prominence over everything. I still feel like a 2-parter could have been done with them doing the interaction stuff this episode leading into the battle, with the battle starting off as a to be continued for next episode. That could have given them time to actually make a really good battle, and then they could have socialized afterwards.
Yeah, and also the second episode didn't need to be a full fight for a 2v2. It could have ended like halfway into it,
Also, the argument against the Clawlitzer fight, the problem with the numbers, they can change those numbers whenever they want. Like, the writers could literally make it so that the next fight, it just really depends on what rank Korrina is. If Ash fights a higher rank, then his rank goes higher if he wins the fight. So
I don't even think the Clawlitzer guy was an issue. I think it was only an issue that he took up a little more time than I would have liked. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think it would have been fine if they just showed like Pikachu.
Literally, like Pikachu using Thunderbolt or Iron Tail and finishing it off.
Like they did that in the Kalos League, but they couldn't do it here. It was like, it's one of those things where it's like a little bit of better time usage could have gone a long way with this episode. And if they'd done that, maybe it wouldn't have even needed to be a 2-parter like we're saying. I think like TSS said, I think they write it in a specific way where single episode.
They write things in a specific manner because that's how they do it. If they really wanted the penultimate thing, they would have wrote it as a 2-parter.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's a little bit better time management to give the.
To be honest, it's better paced than like the reboot episode. That's.
No, we're not saying like in terms of like.
We're not saying it like that. We're just saying like for a reintroduction to a character from a series that really, really, really complimented on Pokemon battles now. Now Pokemon, like I'll say that, I'll die on that hill. Pokemon X and Y, that's where they shine the most, was in Pokemon battles. So no matter, even if I separate all the battles from X and Y, I still have the mindset of I watched X and Y and I know what they're capable of. So like I'm going to look at this battle and go, well, what did they do to show off Lucario's strength? What did they do to make me think, oh wow, Korrina and Lucario have definitely gotten stronger since they last battled Ash? Because if you were to show me this fight and say Korrina got stronger, there's no way I'm gonna believe you. Like, there's no way I'm gonna believe you. There's no way.
It's not about
the target demographic would have been like 2 years old when the Korrina fight originally.
I mean, even if you're judging it off, oh, little kids are watching this, they don't give a damn about the power-ups and everything. Even as a kid, if I look and I see Dragonite getting the shit kicked out of it by 2 Pokemon and somehow still winning, I'd be confused.
Yeah, because when you're a kid, you're thinking game logic. You know, you're not thinking full on.
Right, but it also depends. Yeah, but it also depends on how you got to remember from a Japanese kid's perspective versus a Western kid's perspective. It's a 2 completely different minds of thinking. That's the whole thing.
No, I don't even think it's separated to that wide a margin. Every kid can think differently. Hell, a kid in the same room as me could think differently than I do if we're both kids. It's got nothing to do with that. It's got more to do with like just what do you physically see on screen, and what I physically saw on screen was Dragonite getting the shit kicked out of it, and then it did a hit and was able to turn it 2 hits and turn it around. And
that was a reference to the freaking Kalos final. They wanted to do it like that. I will tell you. This series has gotten so many subtle fucking things.
Charizard got a few hits in on Greninja. It got a couple of Dragon Claws in, and it got a blast off.
And it's like
I'll go back to TSS's earlier point where I think people shouldn't get hung up on the technicalities. Where it's I'm not hung up on the technicalities. It's not even. This isn't even like a PM 2019 thing. It's not even a this episode thing. We've seen stuff like this throughout the entire Pokemon anime, where like.
This isn't
I
new.
think the worst example is the Battle Frontier. This is a great battle, by the way. One of my favorite battles in Battle Frontier. Ash versus Tucker, where Ash literally he gets like the stuffing beat out of him.
Oh yeah, Swallow and Corphish get the crap kicked out of him.
And then they use one move and they win the battle.
But that's not, like, my problem with that, though, is that they're showing off a Frontier Brain, and Ash is going to the Frontier Brain. He gets the symbol. Here, they're going through the trouble of bringing a character back, and they're stating that she's stronger. I'm not using the game logic nor the anime logic for this. I'm using the logic of the narrative. The narrative.
All right. But the same logic, though. Ash is now a champion. So Ash has actually gotten
more development.
You know, I always keep hearing that, but it's like, you guys keep forgetting, the only person who is in Ash's team that can contain that champion status is Pikachu, who wasn't in the fight. Pikachu was because the Pokemon are the ones battling. Ash isn't the one battling.
We have never seen Dragonite's true power.
Dragonite is new, though. That's the issue. It's not a veteran. If it was a veteran, I can understand that. Dragonite is a newbie. Well, not really a newbie, but it's a new Pokemon. Pikachu is the only one with the champion status under its belt. And
Dragonite has only been under command with Ash for like 1 battle, and that was the raid battle. Their teamwork isn't as high.
But who's to say that Ash isn't giving him that champion level training?
Oh, God.
Oh, okay, so we're going back to the worst thing about the series, off-screen land. That is the worst writing, if anything.
Have to consider here.
Also, I like the idea that even if he does win something, other people can still get stronger around him. Like in the Orange Islands, when he came back as the champion, Gary stomped him, and he was worse back then than he was now. He got better in the Orange Islands. He came back, and then Gary stomped the crap out of him. Because while Ash was out doing that, Gary was training. So I like the idea that even if he won a league, other people can still get better. Also, if you're the champion, even if you're the champion of like a tournament or something, because I say this in Pokemon VGCs, even if you win 1 tournament, others can build teams that'll be better than you later. Like, you can't just win. Winning once doesn't make you immortal, bruh. Like,
yeah, and then Gengar had to take the L.
Unfortunately, but the way it was taken was not really something I would say was a right direction. Because, like, okay, we're going to take about the L. How the hell are they going to set up that L for later? You know, like, there's, like, the L was, like, it was unfortunate. It was very... I wouldn't say disgusting, but it was just disorganized.
Let's put it into perspective. Have you ever gone into a battle and then you had you got a crit and then it fucking went down and then you had to completely change your strategy? Yes, you have. So probably what happened is it got crit.
But that's
I
going
wouldn't
under
even
assumption at
consider-
this point,
no
though.
no matter what logic happened behind the fight, that doesn't hell, Dragonite could have been on steroids with Lucario having a broken arm that day. That's not the point. The point is
I was talking about Gengar, by the way.
Yeah, even Gengar. The point is they went through steps to make Gengar and Korrina and Lucario look worse for the sake of Ash winning.
All right, but consider the alternatives from a writing aspect. Either you hype up this episode where Ash is going to enter the superclass and he loses, or you, instead of Dragonite, you do what KG said, and you have the one true champion on Ash's team, which is Pikachu, and then you're just rewriting an X.
Rewriting X and Y.
You have Pikachu versus Mega Lucario again. To me, that's way less interesting.
They could have done what they did in the Biskies battle, by the way. Remember Pikachu versus Raichu, that whole rivalry that's been going on?
Well,
I know it's a new Raichu, but that Raichu was built specifically to combat that.
But the thing though was Pikachu didn't take down the Raichu.
That's what I'm saying.
No, that's what he's saying. The point is they didn't do the same thing they always do where they have Pikachu and Raichu and Pikachu ends up winning because it's faster or more acrobatic than Raichu. They had Pikachu and Raichu fight to show off their muscle, but then Pikachu was sort of getting like a little. He wasn't getting
it wasn't getting the advantage in the fight.
Yeah, he wasn't getting the advantage, so Ash felt it better to switch out to a Pokemon that moves more chaotically.
I feel.
But sometimes I feel.
So they could have had
so
Pikachu
John,
and Lucario briefly fight.
I will let John go. I would let John after. Let John go after me, but I just want to make a session. They view this as a more show than tell in terms of logistically.
Like I said, there could have been better ways they wrote that, because like if Pikachu and Lucario had fought first and then just had like a warm-up bout, maybe in the middle of that bout, Lucario could have got the power-up punch on Pikachu, Ash switched Pikachu out, and then Korrina
switches out her Lucario for another Pokemon.
Lucario for Minchao, Dragonite beats Minchao, Pikachu tries to fight, and what ends up happening is it loses to Mega Lucario. But then when Mega Lucario tries to fight Dragonite, it's paralyzed from when it used Power-Up Punch on Pikachu. The paralyzation causes them a problem. Dragonite can take the win. So that's a better fight in itself. Because at least then...
You want to draw it? You don't want to draw it.
I'm just saying.
You want to draw it? You want to draw it?
Like I said, that's still a better believable fight. If anything, it makes both characters...
Then go to OLM Asia and then you draw for them.
Why are you going with that as a response?
You made the fucking Sakuga.
I love how you're using that as a way to criticize what he just said, though. That's amazing.
Right, I'm just saying, like, there's
I wanted to say that because I never had an opportunity to say that in my life, and I've always wanted to say that.
We're going to OLM right now, then. All right, bye.
I mean, I know I'm playing Monday Night Quarterback right now. I'm just saying that's there's more in a show that found creative ways to make fights, like the Bisky fight. I feel like that could have been a possibility, but they ended up, I don't know, the way they handled it just felt like it didn't do anybody justice except for Ash, which is great, but yeah.
All right, there's two other things that I want to bring up here.
Go ahead, John.
First of all, like I said before, Champion Ash, Champion Training. We actually saw like another reference, like TSS was pointing out with the Colorless League reference. There's another one. There's a counter shield in this episode with Dragon Dance. It's they don't call it that, but if you've been watching for a while, you're like, huh, that's something that he's used before.
Even Korrina points out that's like, huh, that's different from what you normally do.
Yeah,
which Korrina encountered before in their gym fight when Ash was doing the whole dance gimmick, you know.
Yeah, so that's another point. Towards this whole thing about how people are like, oh, well, Dragonite's not that good at Pokemon. Well, he's getting good training. That's my point.
Yeah.
The other thing is that if you do put Pikachu in this battle, then God, you know how this community becomes whenever Pikachu loses a battle. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Especially to a Lucario.
If Pikachu loses to Lucario, it's going to be like, why? Why did he lose to Lucario?
The Unova region all over again.
And
so then don't give Dragonite the win.
Well, here's the thing. If Dragonite beats Lucario, that's fine. But then Pikachu has to lose to Minchao, and that's even worse.
Or it could have tied with it.
I mean, it could have tied with it, but like even then, it's like that's a little underwhelming. Like I would rather see Ash's new Pokemon.
Has Pikachu lost in this series yet?
I think he's lost like at least once.
I can't.
Well, yeah,
remember.
Leon.
Yeah, Leon.
Well, that doesn't.
It does count.
well,
They
it does
had
count.
a
It
referee
does
for that
count.
one,
It's a battle.
Tyrone.
No, Pikachu
and-
losing to Leon. That's Leon.
Tyrone was complaining last week about how Pikachu lost to the Team Rocket Grunts. He was like, bro, why Pikachu lose these Team Rocket Grunts? Like, bro, come on. He literally got triple teamed on.
Well,
Quadruple teamed on, actually. Quadruple teamed on. So,
my complaint wasn't that Pikachu lost to the Grunts. My complaint was that Go and Ash together couldn't beat the Grunts, but Go separately beat both.
I just personally feel like Pikachu had no place in this episode in the battle. And I think it was
No.
actually a good play to leave him out.
Good. Yeah.
And yes, and I'm very happy about that. That's why I said it was nice to see the others, but I feel like this came at a cost at something. And I think there was, in all honesty, there was one easy way to fix this entire episode up, because you guys keep referring to, oh, we're going to see Korrina come back later down the road, and all that. Then don't have the championship battle here at this time.
Yeah.
What you could have done here is you could have made this somewhat for Go, where Go is new to Kalos region. He's collecting Pokemon. I would have loved if they did what they did with the Unova area, where they found like not like a raid battle, but rather show off a giant Pokemon that Go wants to catch. Ash, Go, and Korrina could work together. Riolu could end up witnessing Lucario's Mega Evolution, and that could be a tease for future events to come. Like, there are more directions you could take it.
And then they could have fought in a future tournament.
Exactly, because everybody's saying it would have been cool to see Riolu fight against Korrina, which we know is going to happen later because it needs the development later, but what would have been a better way to take care of it? I feel like it would have been with this direction, where if like they decide to make it more like, okay, we're going to have Korrina introduced in this episode, and we're going to tease her and show off her development here and show off her strength and her side of the story by having her be the one to attack the whatever raid Pokemon it is that they're going up against. Maybe Ash and Riolu are having a hard time, and Go and his Pokemon Scorbunny or Reboot are having a hard time. Korrina comes in, shows up the Mega Evolution. Riolu sees this, Riolu witnesses this, and is now aiming to get to that goal. You know what I mean? Like, there could have been other implementations to have made Korrina look better. But this episode ended up only being used as a way to make her look, less than what she was in Kalos. And Kalos did her right. Kalos treated her right because they gave her an arc. They gave her a story.
They gave her like 6 or 8 episodes in order to even show off her character growth. And they went through the trouble of having Lucario go through these trials and tribulations to get stronger. So when you bring her back, then Ash goes, I won against her in our battle, and then immediately crush her in this one. It's just like, well, then why should I give a shit about Korrina? Like, because
I'll give you another alternative take. That's probably the reason why they did it.
Ramos.
No, the reasoning why they did it was they wanted to do this for ratings, and that's why they put it. They stuck it. That's why they stuck it up on YouTube, and they stuck it up on Pokemon Fun.
Don, hey buddy!
And we have 5 gift subs.
Hey there, Nintendo. How you doing, buddy?
Awesome.
Oh man, I hope you're doing okay there, buddy. Thank you so much for the gifting. I really appreciate it, man. And Tyrone, looks like you got one.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, Tyrone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate it, buddy. Hope you're doing okay, man.
Yes. So basically they wanted to do this to get people watching the series again, because of course, this was before the whole shit happened.
Right.
They wanted to have one shot in there. It didn't matter how poorly they wrote it. They want people's butts in the seats. I think in that case they did their job.
Yeah.
I think in that case they did their
job. If they wanted to get the views and the viewership and all that, then congratulations, you did it. Because guess what? I stayed up at 5 a.m. and I never do that for any episodes. Hell, I didn't even do that for the Alola League finals. And that shows you how excited I was for this episode.
Really, like as the X and Y fan here, I wasn't the one going, oh, I hope they show the picture. Or, oh, I hope they have all these flashbacks. Or, I hope Clement and Bonnie show up at the tower. I didn't hope any of that. I knew it was going to be just Korrina because, like, no other character.
I came into this episode just neutral again, like always. Like I watch it. I would watch it every week if I don't have work.
Yeah, I just I knew they weren't going to get referenced because it's not about them right now. Maybe in the future when it's like, our heroes need to find out what Pokemon's causing problems in Lumio's tower again. It's like a bunch of Daydene and Bonnie shows up, and yeah, something like that. But I wasn't expecting like, oh, they're gonna make all these references right here and then, especially considering that only one episode was dedicated to it. I figured they were gonna do something where they got to do this fight. The problem with the fight, though, is that like unlike, and this is I'm not comparing the whole battle, just the layout of the battle. Ash versus Korrina's fight, when they fought in the gym, they literally had a episode that built up to it. And then towards the beginning of the next episode, they're at the gym. Like the gym battle starts. That's why the whole fight starts. Hell, they have so much time, unfortunately. Team Rocket shows up. Clement and Serena take care of them though, so it doesn't negate all of it. If anything, it's just there to show that they tried and they failed.
Yeah.
But the whole episode had the time to do what it needed to do. Whereas here, they got to get to the Kalos region. They had to do the battle against Clawitzer. Go had to catch all the Flabebes and meet Gherkin. It was just so much other things happening. There was no way I think they were going to... This was sadly may have been the best that they could do given the time restraint.
Also, just one thing to reiterate with the whole viewership thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? When they hyped up this event, yeah, they hyped up the battle or just seeing Korrina come back.
Mm-hmm.
But still, the concept that I was talking about, the raid battle, still could have applied because she's the main reason why viewership is up. It's not really the battle itself that people were hyped for. No, it was the fact that she was returning. It's her that everybody was excited to watch.
And that's why I'm upset, because she looked bad in this episode. Her battling skills didn't justify it.
Yeah. Do I like this episode? I say I liked elements of the episode. I'm not calling it a horrendous episode. I'm not calling it the worst episode. I'm just saying, from bringing back a character that fans have grown to love. She is a companion at the end of the day. Yeah, she only had been there for like 8-something episodes. But she still is a companion at heart. And this is the way you treat her?
You brought a battle-heavy character from a battle-heavy series to come back, and she didn't battle heavy.
That's what I'm saying. If that raid battle was a thing, it would still apply to what TSS was mentioning before with the battle size, and also treat Korrina properly. She would have shown off Mega Evolution, whooped that giant Pokemon's butt, and show off the power that Mega Evolution holds, and showed that she has grown as a trainer, which would then lead into a future episode where they then could have an actual fight later down the road. Because who says that they need to be fighting each other here in the super class when they could be fighting somewhere like in the ultra class or something like that? What did they need here with Korrina to justify this battle? You know, they could have held her on for later, but still introduce her here to set up for
the answer to that is that there's going to be more notable characters coming.
Yes, I know, but I'm just saying, if you're going to do that, then you at least have to treat them right. I mean, like as Tyrone mentioned before, like imagine if like May's father comes back and they treat him like shit. You know what I mean? Like that's what hurts me the most. It's like now with how things were treated in this episode, I'm more concerned how future characters are going to be treated. I'm scared about that because I don't know what's going to happen.
And then watch them actually treating them good, and then
which then will make the question come out being like, why they treat Korrina dirty then? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say it's kind of a win situation though. If they treat the characters better, we get better treatment for characters, but it doesn't
justify the previous trainer that was treated badly. That's all.
Yeah, unless if there's another, and we know we're gonna have more development, because what they're doing is they're pacing themselves. They don't want to go too quickly, and they're trying to make if we're talking about episodic, they're going to make that redemption.
I hope so. I really do. Here's
the thing. Remember what I said with Reboot, and I told Terrell, wait and see. You're going to see Go developing. He is developing. So again, you got to give some sort of break.
Although I think, despite saying that, I think Terrell wasn't even really happy about that, though, if I recall correctly.
Well, no, I mean he wasn't. He
doesn't view Go as a fun character at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying for in general.
Yes,
that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to jump all around and do little piece here, little piece there, little piece there. They don't have enough time to, or they don't know the pacing yet. The biggest problem now is since that we do not have a game, since this is not going around a game, they have to find an alternative route to develop characters. And the problem is you already have a character, you have Satoshi, who is already, the character is developed so much, now you just have to develop everything around him and every other character that's there. So now we're going to get into a point where they're going to probably put focus away from the World Championship and then go to other side routes.
Yeah.
That's what I think what's going to happen. So, with that being said, let's talk about Saido Chesto.
I'm so sad my boy wasn't here. My boy that everybody, you know, obviously me and Evie, we both first of all love this series. The Dumbbell anime.
Yeah.
We both love that shit. Also, we got a brand new poster update to obviously signify the upcoming episode release for next week, as you can see right here for the poster right there. It's looking pretty exciting for sure. Machio-san, be proud. I'm telling you right now, I am excited for next week's episode.
Let's see, and let's see, Kazumi is or Kazuo is going to be guesting. He's been a guest on like Pokemon Smash, well, he's been actually a guest since like Pokemon Smash and Pokemon.
Yeah, and he's in Pokenchi sometimes too, isn't he?
Yes, that's right. So he's actually going to be the Magikarp, like king. And
even Magikarp has abs in one frame. It's so great.
Yeah, getting on the steroids. Everybody's getting on the steroids.
Yeah. I do. It's not steroids talk, but I do want to talk about something, and I really hope people will help me out with this situation. Not really a situation, but rather this challenge. Because if we're talking about getting ourselves fit and looking like how Ash and Go here, by the way, they're 10 years old, and Go skipped leg day. Look at those thin ass legs he got at the shoes. Skipped leg. He's basically Knuckles from fucking Sonic Boom.
Oh my god, the Pillarman theme intensifies. I can see the edit now. It's gonna be hilarious.
Somebody did it. You didn't see the picture?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh
no.
my god! I think who was it that did the edit? I forgot who it was. I think it was shit. Whoever it was in particular that did the Pillarman edit. You know who you are. If you're in the chat, please tweet that shit or just let me know on Twitter, because I saw that, I died my ass off, because the person literally removed two Pillarmen and replaced it with Ash and Go in the background.
Need an AMV?
I was like, bro, that shit was great. Hold on. Wait. Let me see. Who was it? It was, Gold Miner. You were the one. Hold on. Let me get it for you right now then. Because that shit had me rolling when I saw it. Oh my god. Let me see if I can find it.
And Nintendo, thank you for wow, you gifted a sub to Donnie. Thank you.
Wait, what? Oh my god, Don! Thank you so much, Don. I really do appreciate all the love and support, man. Thank you so much. Nintendo. I call him Don sometimes. Dan, whichever way. But thank you, man. I wish I knew how to pronounce that shit right. I'm sorry. But let me see.
Don.
I just found it in the memes channel in our Discord. That's amazing. That's a really great edit, actually.
You saw it? All right, there you go. Yeah. But I'm gonna post this for the chat here on Discord.
Now I just need like the music overlaid on top. Like I need someone to like just make a little scene of it.
Yeah, there you go, guys. This is the edit right there. Look, you can't tell me that shit isn't hype, man. That's the most hype I've been for an episode right here.
The only problem is the guy's arm is too close to Satoshi's junk. That's the problem. It's like he's gonna elbow him in the balls or something.
Oh my god. But yeah, so overall this episode is looking exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen for the future of this episode. And I hope we see more scenes with Ash and Go like this throughout that second episode. You said it right the first time? Yes, I knew I said it right. Well, I hope I said it right.
It's weird. It's definitely going to be a weird
Well, I mean, this whole series has been BL fuel.
Dude, yeah, and I love every minute of it. I love every single minute of it. So, with that being said, though, I hope you guys are looking forward to more hilarious content like this.
The Slow King one, we have like the Ikemen faces return.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Gold Miner, if you first of all follow him on Twitter if you haven't yet, because he's the one that did this edit. The Gold Miner 27. I will retweet this image just to let people go and retweet it themselves, because you guys totally need to have this shit saved on yours.
And thank you for the nearly 70 viewers. We got to 69 Lamal. Thank
yeah,
you
we
very
almost
much.
made it to 70 viewers, ladies and gentlemen. It really, at the end of the day, though, the fact that you guys came here to watch us, I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support. Thank you to Nintendo.
We'll talk
well.
about Koro next week.
Yeah, and we'll also have the whole
'cause
new
we'll also
second thing.
have more
Thank you
news.
as well for all the subscriptions. Thank you to Nintendo for also doing this as well. I really do appreciate all that. It really made me happy to see the amount of support there. Really do appreciate it. And to everybody here watching tonight, thank you guys for joining us here. I hope you guys had a fun session for the week. I know at the end of the day, you know, with this whole debate, I want people to understand, you know, we all have different opinions, and that's okay. If everybody had the same opinion, this world would be pretty boring, would it not?
Well, and also this podcast would be shit too. So.
Exactly. God damn. That shit hurts my side, because TSS don't say that. This is the only thing I got left in this world.
I like how KG reached out to the external crowd. Everybody would be boring if everybody acted the same. Also, this podcast would be fucking shit.
Ow. That shit
I
hurts.
don't like it is.
But really, everybody in the call, thank you guys so much.
But we love it. We love everybody.
Yeah.
That's what we
The
do.
first time that we had an episode that was a little divisive among the crowd here.
Yeah.
Well, at least that I've been here. I haven't been in.
What
for
do
a
you
while.
know? It's a part.
It's an X and Y.
Yeah, it's an XY based episode.
See, Tyrone, listen,
know what?
man, you
It
can
was-
never
it was-
have a good X and Y episode without it ever being divisive. That's just how it
I
works.
liked- I
If
liked
that's the reference they were making, they did a really good job then.
Okay, go ahead, John.
I would just say that I really liked hearing everybody's perspectives here. KG, TSS, Tyrone. I like hearing how everyone appreciates different aspects of the episode differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
See, I'm
yeah,
more of a technical analytical guy. So
It's because like we look for different things in the episodes, and we look for different things in the just in Pokemon in general. I think that's one of the reasons why I noticed that my love for XY transcends, because I've wanted Pokemon to be an action-based series for so damn long. I was tired of like being in AG, but the fights look like something from an early 1990s anime. And it's just like, come on now, act like a fucking anime. And then we see XY show up and the battles are just fucking mind-blowing. Then we went back to Sun and Moon, and it's just like, some of them were good.
Where's my 3D camera, goddammit?
yeah, but the problem is the battles took a front to the shit writing. But that's another
Well,
thing.
yeah.
That's you can't. Well, the thing
You
is though,
can't have
we
one
could
without
probably never get a perfect Pokemon series. So
No, we can. No.
Check
TSS, we can never get a perfect X and Y episode. Is the issue?
Sun
That's the
right.
issue.
and Moon was focused on the family and comedy aspect, so I got what they were shooting for. But X and Y spoiled me with battles. That was the problem. X and Y spoiled the shit out of me with Pokemon battles.
And that's why Sun and Moon is the perfect
Sun and Moon
series.
is not perfect. You can take away the telescope orgasm and the drum.
Hey, listen, man, that
visual
telescope
NyQuil too.
orgasm was the thing that gave Ash the win in the league,
also,
man.
and also Satoshi's face melting, and you see that. And also, by the way, TPCI uploaded a very bad AMV.
Oh my
so I
god,
had
go
to put-
watch Entity May's AMV. He did far
Yeah,
superior
he
than
did.
what...
Yeah, he did that. I mean, and Entity, Entity's, freaking Ben's video is so much fucking better. Watch that one. The TPCI one is so bad that they used 4 different songs at 4 different tempos, and then they edited the camera cuts to the upbeat of the 3rd beat, which didn't even fucking make sense. So I made my own thing, unaltered footage. Watch my Twitter. It's a better freaking.
Also, if you
it's a
want to
better
go follow
experience.
these guys that are in the call, they're in the friends segment down below. You see Tyrone, TSS, Richie, Evie, John, Insane Game Freak. They're all down there. So make sure to go follow them on their Twitter. And if you want to, make sure to go follow them on their YouTubes as well to see what kind of content they got in store for all of you. So, once again, everybody in the call and in the chat tonight, We love and care for all of you. Thank you guys
And thank
so
you
much
to
for being with us
Nintendo
here.
again.
Thank you to Nintendo so much as well for all the gifting. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, man. I really do. Thank you for that support. And I hope to see you all next week. We're going to have a lot of fun because I don't know what the hell Pokemon's going to be revealing on Wednesday. Let's hope, fingers crossed, it's a really good one. So, until then, ladies and gentlemen, my name is KG Prestige. This has been the end of the session for the week for the PokePod World Podcast. And we will be talking with all of you guys later in whatever video we make. Take care, everybody. And as always, have yourself an awesome day.
Burn down the video editor.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's 12:21.
He's not wrong. It's morning.
Well, Tyrone, isn't it 11 for you?
Yeah, I'm still stuck in the past. It's okay.